Good evening and welcome to Byju's Exam Prep. Am I audible and visible? Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Am I audible and visible? Uh, right. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible and visible once again? Yeah. Hello. Good evening. Yeah. Thank you, Anushka, Gunjan, Ankush, Anamika. Good evening, everyone. Now, yesterday I covered two topics. One is Indian dance, and the other topic I covered was um, the Indian literature. I have covered two topics. Yesterday, I could not give you some extra points on Kathakali. Can you please take down that? Yesterday, I could not give you some extra additional points on Kathakali. So, Kathakali, please take down. Kathakali. So, yesterday, I could not. Yeah. um, so, here, I have received a few mails from some of the students. I have forwarded to the concerned department. From Monday onwards, that is from yesterday, whatever classes have been done, have been conducted, the annotated versions of those classes is being uploaded. And for the backlog of those classes, whatever classes, the annotations you've been asking, that will be uploaded in due course. And very shortly, it will be uploaded. So please have some patience. Um, right now, that will be done, Gunjan. Just hold on. That will be done. They are working on it, and you will receive a message soon. So that's what I've been asked to inform you. So whatever recordings and annotated versions of classes you require, that will be uploaded soon. Now, Kathakali, as you all know, it's called Ballet of the East. It's from Kerala, Ballet of the East. So, ballet people who have joined in late, and I could not give you some extra points on Kathakali. So I will finish that, and I'll have to draw the diagram of the tomb. When I did art and architecture, I did not have the picture of the tomb. Masjid we have seen, a cross section of a masjid, various parts of a masjid we have seen. Of a tomb, of a Muslim tomb, we have not been able to. I was not able to give that. I will cover that, and then I'll come back to painting. We'll start with Indian painting and Indian philosophy. First, I'll come talk about Indian philosophy today. Then we will talk about painting. So Kathakali is called Ballet of the East. It is a classical dance from Kerala. It's a classical dance of Kerala, right? Then the language, understand this please. The language in Kathakali is a language called Mani Pravalam. It's a language called Mani Pravalam. Mani Pravalam is supposedly a combination of two languages, Malayalam and Sanskrit. So it's a mixture of Malayalam and Sanskrit called Mani Pravalam. That's the language in used in Kathakali. There are 9 facial expressions. 9 facial expressions as part of the dance. 9 facial expressions. That's called Navarasas. Navarasas. Then it is done in an open air theater. Preferably, Kathakali is done in an open air theater, not in a closed theater, but an open air theater. Kathakali symbolizes a sky. It symbolizes, like Bharatanatyam symbolizes fire, Kathakali symbolizes sky or ether. It symbolizes sky or ether, and it is exclusively performed by men. Kathakali is exclusively performed by men. So it's a all male troupe performance, exclusively performed by men. So that is, it's an, that's it. That is an, it is an all male troupe performance. All male troupe performance. So this is about Kathakali. Sumo, you can listen to the recorded version. I can understand West Bengal is going through a lot of problem, but then recorded versions are available from Monday onwards, from yesterday onwards. So maybe you would be able to access that. So this is about Kathakali. I could not cover this part, right? So I have done my bit. Then can we move on? Then I could not give you the picture of a vertical cross section of a tomb last week. Remember when we had done art and architecture as part of medieval architecture? We have seen that the Indo-Islamic architecture is divided into 2 parts. One is religious and the other is secular. In religious, we have masjid or mosque, and then tomb or maqbara. So I did not have any pictures on the net. Therefore, and I forgot to bring this book also, which has the picture of a tomb. So painting, I'm coming to that. Yeah. Okay, now look here. Can I use another page? I'm going to another page. So please take down. I'm sure you're able to draw a better diagram than mine, but then I'll try my best. So how does a Muslim tomb look like? And this is the tomb of not an ordinary Muslim, but somebody like an emperor or a Sufi saint, a prominent Chishti Sufi saint. Okay, now look here. It looks like this. Just hold on. So you have please draw a straight line, right? So this is a dome. So this is the dome. Wait, then so this is the dome. Then this is called Huzra. Huzra, Huzrah, Huzra. This is the Rauza, Rauza. Rauza. Then the grave where the dead body has been buried, that is the grave. That's called Kabra. Grave. That's called Kabra or Kabra. Kabra. Right? And then this is called This part is called Maqbara. This is called Maqbara. Also called Tekhana. Tekhana. Right? This is a vertical cross section of a tomb. So you can write vertical cross section of a tomb. Right? So this is your vertical cross section of a tomb. Right? So please add this particular diagram in your medieval India section, in your notes. Please make this diagram. Hari, I said, Muslim tomb of a Muslim saint or a Muslim emperor like Akbar or Jahangir. So tomb looks like this, a Muslim tomb of a tomb. So I should mention it here. Okay, Muslim tomb of a Muslim tomb. And not an ordinary Muslim. He would be either an emperor or a saint, either an emperor or a king or a saint. Right? Hari, got it? So this is about whatever I had to cover, backlog. Right. Now let us come to philosophy. Can we come to philosophy? Have you taken down that? Can we move on? So let us come to philosophy topic. Ordinary Muslims, it's about the privilege and the money also, right? Ordinary Muslims, why will he build a tomb? Um, but the kings, no, this is called romanticizing death. This is called romanticizing death. That they even before they died in their lifetime when they were hale and hearty, they had begun to construct their tomb, right? Particularly the emperors. Now let's come to philosophy topic. Now, philosophy. What is this philosophy topic? You see, what do you study in this philosophy topic? Now, we have a number of philosophers from ancient times who gave their philosophies. And what are these areas? What are the topics these philosophies talk about or philosophers spoke about? They spoke about various topics like God, whether God exists or not, whether God exists or not, right? Then the soul, whether there's something called a soul. Then about rebirth, right? They spoke about rebirth. Then karma. So God, soul, rebirth, karma. Um, so these are some of the topics the philosophers dealt with, basically, right? Now, it's a pretty interesting topic. Um, I will try to make it as simple as possible because most of the topics in this philosophy are easy in the sense it's easy to understand. And I'll try to make it as simple as possible. But if it is going above your head, don't bother. Only one question will come, if at all it comes, from the philosophy topic in your prelims paper. So therefore, don't break your head about it in case you're not able to understand, right? So philosophy is meant to read. There's a saying, that philosophy is meant to be read, not followed. You must have seen people telling you, elders or experienced people, that be practical in life, don't be philosophical. So philosophy is meant to be read and understood, but not followed on the lighter side, right? But anyway, let's talk about it. Philosophy. So here, uh, from ancient times, we have a number of philosophers. I have given you some extra points also with respect to some philosophies. First of all, we have the Ajivika sect. Ajivika sect. Remember, we have briefly spoken about Ajivika sect when I did Jainism. Remember Jainism, Vardhamana Mahavir. He left home at the age of 30 years, and for the next 12 years he was wandering. That is till the age of 42 years. And out of these 12 years, the first 6 years of his life, He was accompanied by his disciple called Goshala Maskari Putra. And later they had issues, they had differences, both Vardhaman and Goshala Maskari Putra. And later, Goshala Maskari Putra went on to become the founder of a sect called the Ajivika sect. So remember that we had discussed this earlier. So let us talk about Ajivika sect in a detailed manner. So here the founder was Makkali Goshala or Goshala Maskari Putra. He's supposed to be the third pontiff. Pontiff is the head of the church. Head of the mutt is also called a pontiff. For example, in the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope is the head or the pontiff of the Roman Catholic Church. So pontiff means head. So um, so here Makkali Goshala is supposed to be the third pontiff. So that means to say there were two others who preceded him. One was, of course, Nandavacha. Nandavacha, he was the first pontiff, and then Kisa Som Kicha, he was the second pontiff. The Ajivikas were supposedly Shudra sannyasis. They were supposedly Shudras and also sannyasis, wandering ascetics, basically. Now, uh, Goshala Maskariputra was a disciple, was a student of Mahavir for 6 years, and he accompanied Mahavira in his wandering. And then later, after 6 years of wandering together, they had differences over two issues, or no difference of opinion. One is regarding the issue of nudity, whether to wear clothes or not. So, whether to wear clothes or not. And the second is rejuvenation of the soul, whether the soul, Atma, rejuvenates itself or not. Rejuvenation of the soul. So, they had differences over these two issues. Vardhaman, so since they were not able to reconcile their differences, they parted company, they parted their ways. And later, Goshala Maskariputra, became the founder of this sect called Ajivika sect. So he drifted apart from Vardhaman, and then he called himself as Jina. This Goshala Maskariputra called himself as Jina, and he made Shravasti his headquarters. Shravasti in UP. So Shravasti in UP, Uttar Pradesh, became his headquarters. And he died much earlier than Vardhaman. He died much earlier than Vardhaman. Goshala Maskariputra may be considered as the senior contemporary of the Buddha. Both Buddha and Mahavira were contemporaries. So, and Goshala Maskariputra died many years before Vardhamana Mahavira died. So, you can consider Goshala as a senior contemporary of the Buddha. Right. Now, what does the Ajivika philosophy talk about? So basically, it was an atheistic sect. So it rejected God outright. So it was atheistic in nature, did not believe in God, existence of God. It denied the concept of karma. What is karma? That is good deeds, bad deeds. If you do bad deeds, you have to pay a price for it, and you have to keep on, you have to keep on doing good until you square off your karmic debts. So if you do good things will happen to you. If you do bad things will happen to you. That's called karma. But then the Ajivika sect denied the idea of karma, or the concept of karma. Then it believes that man is subject to the laws of nature. Therefore, you cannot change your destiny. Action cannot lead man out of the inevitable. Whatever has to happen will happen. So, Goshala Maskariputra is called the earliest teacher of predeterminism. That is called Niyati. What is Niyati? Predeterminism. Understand this? Very simple. Predeterminism. What is predeterminism? For example, let's say your grandparents or your parents, who believe in astrology, palmistry, they might go to an astrologer or a palmist. And what are the basic, facts or details asked by the astrologer? He'll ask the name of the person, the name, the date of birth, what date of birth, and the time of birth, and the time of birth of that individual. So these are the three things he will ask: name, date of birth, and time of birth. And based on these three facts, he will calculate that person's what you call kundali. Kundali is the chart, the positioning of the planets at the time of that person's birth. Let's say there's a person called A. Let's say there's a person called A. What time he was born, what date he was born. So during that date and that day and time, what were the position of the planets? in the cosmos, and based on that, he will calculate this person's future, or he'll put the Janma Kundali. You know, for example, he'll become a doctor or an engineer. He'll go abroad, etc., etc. So he'll give you the entire, Kundali. Meaning to say that this person's, for example, I have taken the example of a person called A. This person's life has already been decided for him at the time of his birth, or even before that. Whatever that person is going to do in that life has already been decided for him. So this is what is the teaching of Goshala Maskariputra. He is considered to be the earliest teacher of predeterminism or niyati. You cannot change destiny because already destiny has been decided for you. Therefore, do whatever you want. That was the main gist of the teaching of Goshala Maskariputra. Did you understand what I just now told you? Can you please raise your hand? Yeah, Nakshatra, Rashi, etc. Ankush, you're right. Slide is not visible even after refreshing so many times. That's what Pihu says. What about others? Are anybody facing any technical issues like Pihu? Uh, no, Krishna says no. Nobody is facing any problem, Pihu. It is from your end then, not from our end. So, if not God, who determines destiny? Destiny has already been. You don't worry about those things, Jaswant. No, destiny at the time of your birth has already been decided, right? That's what the Ajivika philosophy believed in, and they did not believe in God. So it's already been decided for you at the time of your birth. Now, who determined this? I myself don't know, and the Ajivikas also don't speak much about it, right? Then they worship the Ashoka tree, and they also always used to carry a bunch of peacock feathers with them. So they worship the Ashoka tree and carried a bunch of peacock feathers as their religious obligation. And this philosophy, the Ajivika philosophy, declined after the Mauryan period. After the Mauryan period, it declined. Now, I have given you extra information on Ajivika philosophy. You can see this on your screen. This is the extra information I've given you. Now, Ajivikas, I believe, they were Shudra sannyasis. They're also called Ekadandins. That is what is meaning of Ekadandin? That is, they used to carry a single staff, a stick in their hand, a long stick in their hand. That's why they're called Ekadandins. And I believe they used to generally be very solitary. They used to be alone, roaming around, and then they will beg. They'll beg their food. They'll perform severe austerities, punishing the body, meditating day and night. They will also get into earthen vessels, like pots, huge pots, and then they will sit inside those pots and meditate. They will go begging, and they will have a peculiar method of begging, in the sense that they might beg in every second or every third or every fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh house. They'll not go to every house. Every second or every third or every fourth or every fifth, like that. They'll beg like that. Then they used to, some of these Ajivika saints used to beg a lotus stalk. They would ask for a lotus stalk. And if there's a lightning, they will not beg. So these things I have added here. You can see here in this particular page. Please go through it. Now, generally the Ajivika sect declined after the Mauryan period. Ashoka, ordered the construction, or he ordered the scooping out or the hewing out of caves, 4 caves in the Barabara hills, and he donated them to the Ajivika monks. We have seen this when we did art and architecture. Similarly, we have his grandson, Ashoka's grandson, Dasharatha. He donated 3 caves to the Ajivika monks in the nearby Nagarjuni hills. So Ajivika sect was a very popular, influential sect during the Mauryan period. In fact, Bindusar, that is the son of Chandragupta Maurya, was a patron of the Ajivika sect. Chandragupta Maurya patronized Jainism. Bindusara patronized Ajivika sect. And of course, Ashoka patronized Buddhism. But then, though the Ajivika sect lost its popularity, or it declined after the Mauryan period, as late as the 14th century AD, we hear of this sect. For example, we have Varahamihira during the Gupta period. He mentions about this sect, in the Gupta period, 5th century AD. Then we have Bana in his Harshacharita. Bana was the court poet of Harsha. So Bana Bhatta mentions about this sect in the 7th century AD. Similarly, then we have the Tamil epics. The Tamil epics like Shila Padigaram also making mention of this. And ultimately, this sect, the Ajivika sect, merged into Vaishnavism. So whatever I just now told you, all the details are here. Please go through it. This is the Ajivika sect. The founder was supposedly Goshala Maskari Putra. Avanish, is anyone speaking along you? I didn't understand. Is there an echo? Avanish, is there an echo on? Avanish, you have to be very specific. Is anyone speaking along with you? No, why should anybody speak along with me? You must be having some technical problem. Okay, internet is poor, he say. No, one of your colleagues says internet may be poor. Okay, so this is about Ajivika sect. Did you understand this Ajivika sect and their philosophy? Then we go to the next sect, Charvaka. Charvaka or Lokayata, also called Uchchedavada. Charvaka, Lokayata or Uchchedavada. Founder was a person called Ajita Kesha Kambalin. Ajita Kesha Kambalin was the founder. And the followers of this sect were called Kesha Kambalins. Kesha Kambalins. So this is again an atheistic sect. Did not believe in God and promoted materialism. Now, what did the Charvaka sect believe in? Real things are those which are felt by man's five senses. And whatever is not felt by man's five senses does not exist on this earth. Very simple. So, real things are those which are felt by man's five senses, right? Whatever cannot be felt by man's five senses doesn't exist. Very simple. Then, human body is made up of panchabhutas. It is made of those five elements: air, ether, water, fire, etc. Then it rejects the concept of soul. It doesn't believe in soul, karma, and punarjarma. It did not believe in soul, karma, and punarjarma. This is your Charvaka philosophy given by Ajita Kesh Gambalin. Clear? Okay. Amanish says he had opened the essay class as well. Okay, fine. Now it is okay. Okay, thank you, Amanish, for informing. Um, Brihaspati maybe from whatever source I have got, Krishna, it is mentioned as Ajita Kesha Gambalin. Um, no, sect, Bhimara is sect separate from religion. A religion can have many sects. I would put it this way: a religion can have many sects, and many sects might not become religions. For example, in Islam, for example, in Islam, Bhimare, we have two sects, major sects, isn't it? What are the two major sects in Islam? We have the Shias and the Sunnis. Shias and Sunnis are the two major sects within Islam. Islam is a religion, which is a bigger thing than sect. And Shia and Sunni were two sects within Islam. But many sects might remain as sects. They might never become a religion, or they might stay as a sect, right? Okay. Also Ahmadiyya. Okay, fine. Did you get me that Charvaka sect? This is about Charvaka. Then we come to the Shad Darshanas. Shad Darshana. Shad Darshana means Shad means what? Six. In Sanskrit, Shad means six, and Darshana means philosophy. Darshana means philosophy. So it translates to six philosophies. So what are the six philosophies? What are the six philosophies? Now I seek your attention. Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purvamimansa, Uttaramimansa, which is also called Vedanta. These are the six philosophies. And each of these philosophies were given by particular philosophers. So let us understand what is the gist of these philosophers, or philosophies rather. Sankhya philosophy, Sankhya. Now, I would want you to go through it at your leisure, right? But then I'll give you the gist of each of these philosophies. Now, please listen to me. Now, Sankhya philosophy was given by a person called Kapila. Sankhya is a philosophy given by sage Kapila. Kapila is the one who gave this philosophy. What does Kapila say? I'll use a page here. What does Kapila say as part of the Sankhya philosophy? He says that so it was given by Kapila, Sankhya. or Samkhya, SAM. Okay, now um, Kapila says that there are two ultimate realities. Understand this? There are two ultimate realities. There are two ultimate realities. What are these two ultimate realities? Number one, Purusha, and number two, Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti. Now, what is this Purusha? It is the soul, it is the Atma, the transcendental self. What is called the transcendental self? Transcendental self, or what is called Atma, soul, Atma. And Prakriti, Kapila says, has three elements. It has three elements. So, what are the three elements? It has three elements, Prakriti, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Now, what is Sattva? You see here on your screen, Sattva is pure state of harmony. I'll come to the page, I'll come to the chart, just hold on. Sattva is pure state of harmony. Tamas is a state of darkness. And Rajas is attraction, energy, state of energy. So Prakriti has three elements, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Now, what does Kapila say? Kapila says that these three are working beautifully in tandem. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are working beautifully in tandem. But sometimes what happens is two join together and overpower the third. For example, see here on your screen, Sattva is 1, Rajas, let us say, is 2, and Tamas is 3. So these three are working beautifully. But sometimes what happens is two join together and overpower the third. For example, Sattva and Rajas might join together. Sattva and Rajas might join together and overpower Tamas. Similarly, Sattva and Tamas might join together and overpower Rajas. Right. So this leads to disequilibrium. When this happens, earlier they were working in tandem, they were in equilibrium. But then when two join together and overpower the third element, it leads to disequilibrium. And that's how the evolution happens on this universe. When two join together and overpower the third, evolution happens, according to Kapila. So it talks about the evolution of the universe, this particular philosophy. Then this philosophy also believes that for every cause there is an effect. Understand this, for every cause there is an effect. For every cause on this universe there is an effect, and for every effect there has to be a cause. So it talks about cause and effect relationship. It talks about cause and effect relationship. So this is your Sankhya philosophy given by Kapila, right? So there are two ultimate realities, Purusha and Prakriti. Did you understand? Hello, are you there with me? See on your screen, I'm just giving. I'm giving you the gist of it. Just understand the gist of it. So it was given by Kapila, the Sankhya philosophy. There are two ultimate realities in this universe. That is, you see on your screen, Purusha is one and Prakriti is another. What is Purusha? Purusha is the self-consciousness, the transcendental self, which does not change. And Prakriti has three gunas, Sattva, Tamas, and Rajas. And these three are working beautifully. They are in equilibrium. But sometimes two gunas combine together and overpower the third guna. When that happens, that leads to evolution. Now, Sankhya philosophy tells us that Purusha doesn't come in contact with Prakriti. Understand this? Purusha doesn't come in contact with Prakriti, but it only influences the Prakriti. Example, you see, let me give an example. We have magnet. So we have, you know, you have, magnet and iron, filings, iron powder or iron filings. So you take a magnet and you have small iron pieces with you. Imagine the magnet is the Purusha. The magnet is the Purusha, right? And the iron filings are Prakriti. Now, Purusha is able to influence the Prakriti. It doesn't come in contact with the Prakriti, but Purusha is able to influence the Prakriti. Just as a magnet can, if you just bring the magnet little close to the iron filings, they get go and attach to the themselves to the magnet. Like that, the Purusha influences the Prakriti, and Prakriti is the one which brings about change. Prakriti is the one which brings about changes in this universe. And then it talks about cause and effect relationship. For every cause, there's an effect, and for every effect, there has to be a cause. This is the gist of the Sankhya philosophy given by Kapila. Did you understand? Madhuri says, I'm not audible. What about others? What about others? Am I not audible? Madhuri, there's some problem from your end. Others are able to hear me. Now, am I audible first of all, Madhuri? Your side network issue. Okay, fine. Did you understand Sankhya philosophy? Can you please raise your hands now? Sankhya philosophy, are you clear? Not understood. Bimare has not understood. What about others? So I'll again repeat. Sankhya philosophy was given by Kapila. Uh, According to Kapila, there are two ultimate realities, Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the Atma, the transcendental self, which does not change. Whereas Prakriti consists of three elements, three gunas, three attributes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. When Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are working beautifully in tandem, there is equilibrium in this universe. But sometimes Kapila says when two gunas join together and overpower the third guna, that is when disequilibrium happens and it leads to evolution in this universe. Purusha doesn't come in contact with Prakriti, but it is able to influence the Prakriti. I gave the examples of magnet and iron filings. Purusha is like a magnet, and Prakriti is like iron powder or iron filings. Purusha doesn't come into contact with Prakriti, but it is able to influence the Prakriti. And it is Prakriti which brings about the change in this universe. And then Sankhya philosophy talks about cause and effect relationship. For every cause, there's an effect, and for every effect, there has to be a cause in this universe. This is the gist of the Sankhya philosophy. Okay, so you see here, I have given you the gist here on your screen. So remember these words. So Sankhya philosophy, Purusha is the efficient cause. That is, the efficient cause means the primary source of change. It is the one which influences the Prakriti. So it is Purusha which brings about the change. So that is called efficient cause. And Prakriti is the material cause, which actually makes a change possible. Prakriti, right? So there are two what are the key points in this philosophy? There are two ultimate realities, Purusha and Prakriti. It talks about the doctrine of evolution, that is evolution in this universe. And there's not one Purusha, but many. So Sankhya philosophy believes that self-knowledge, rather than any external influence or reagent, leads to freedom. Sankhya is the philosophical basis of yoga philosophy given by Patanjali. So your Sankhya philosophy believes that self-knowledge leads to freedom, not any external influence or agent. This is about Sankhya philosophy. Are you there with me? This is Sankhya philosophy. Then we come to yoga. Um, I have to look into that, Sari. Hari says there's new Sankhya and original Sankhya. You have to study both then. But then please understand whatever Sankhya I have just now spoken about. That is the main Sankhya philosophy. Hari, this is the main aspect of Sankhya philosophy. I have to look into that. What is this new Sankhya and old Sankhya? I'll come to that. Then let us talk about yoga. Second philosophy given by Patanjali. Yoga philosophy given by Patanjali. Now, what does Patanjali tell us? Patanjali, in his yoga philosophy, tells us that by performing yoga, by following yoga, you can attain moksha. See, all these philosophies, we are speaking about moksha. What is moksha? Moksha is the freedom from rebirth, isn't it? I told you. Just hold on. God, rebirth, moksha. And that's one more thing they spoke about moksha. They also spoke about moksha. God, soul, rebirth, karma, moksha. Right? Now, What does yoga, the philosophy of Patanjali, speak about? Now, please understand, Sankhya philosophy is about attachment of Purusha and Prakriti. We have seen this. Purusha influences the Prakriti, and though it doesn't come in contact with the Prakriti, and once the Purusha influences the Prakriti, Prakriti is the one which brings about change. So it talks about attachment, the Sankhya philosophy. Yoga philosophy talks about detachment, detachment of Purusha from Prakriti. Did you understand? Yoga talks about detachment, whereas Sankhya philosophy talks about attachment. Sankhya philosophy talks about attachment, attachment of Purusha with Prakriti. Whereas yoga philosophy talks about detachment of Purusha, detachment of Purusha from Prakriti. And achieve detachment, how to achieve detachment of Purusha from Prakriti by performing yoga. You see here on your screen, I have put many pictures of various yoga asanas. So what are the various rules of yoga? You can see here there are few rules of detachment. So how do you detach yourself from Purusha and Prakriti? Yama is what? Self control. Yama, self control. So self control, as part of yoga you have to control yourself. Like, for example, you're not supposed to eat non-veg, even you do, though you like non-veg, etc. Like that. No, self-control. You give up smoking, you give up drinking. So these are all aspects of self-control. Yama. Then niyama. There are certain rules to follow. As part of yoga, you're supposed to follow certain rules. Asana, fixed postures. So there are various asanas, padmasana, shirshasana, etc. That is fixed postures. Pranayama, breath control. Breath control. No, the yoga master will tell you take deep breath, no, feel your breath, etc. No, that is breath control. Pratyahara, choosing an object. No, choosing an object in your mind or in front of you, and then meditating on that object. Dharana, fixing the mind on that object. So you're visualizing that object and trying to focus on that object at the same time focusing on your breath. No, when you're taking, when you're breathing, exhaling, inhaling. Then dhyana, concentrating. And then samadhi, complete samadhi. Complete samadhi means not dying here. Samadhi also means dying here. Complete samadhi is you're gone to, deep within yourself. You're meditating and you've got deeper and deeper and deeper within yourself. Like, for example, Siddhartha sat under the Bodhi tree and he began to meditate. And he went into deeper and deeper levels of consciousness. And though Mara tried to disturb him, he was not able to. Mara's daughters, servants, etc., tried to disturb Siddhartha. Even Mara came and then he was not able to disturb. So that is called samadhi. For example, we have the story of Swami Vivekananda. I believe he used to go into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, something called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So he would meditate for 2 or 3 days continuously, day and night, and he would have given a key word to his students in case of an emergency where his presence was absolutely required. Only then his students were supposed to call out that name, that word, that key word given by Swami, and only then he'll come out of his Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So as if you read the literature on Swami Vivekananda, they speak about all these things. So that is samadhi, complete samadhi. This is yoga. Did you understand? Yoga is how to achieve detachment of Purusha from Prakriti, and you can achieve detachment by following yoga, right? Okay. Did you understand here? Yoga. Can I move on? But have you understood what is Sankhya first of all? Have you understood what Kapila spoke about? Whatever I have told you. Have you understood that part? Huh? Hello? Then I have discussed about yoga. Can we move on to the next philosophy? Yoga. A little bit. Okay, so that comes through a little bit of revision. Please revise, and then you will understand better and better. So, so you see, I told you at the beginning. I give you a disclaimer. Philosophy is not everybody's cup of tea. So I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Many people might not understand much about philosophy, but don't break your head about it. If you cannot understand even after 10 readings, then don't worry about it. Only one question will come, if at all it comes in the prelims. So don't worry about it. Right? Then we come to Nyaya philosophy. So what is this Nyaya philosophy? Now let's talk about Nyaya philosophy. What is this Nyaya philosophy? Now, uh, uh, can I just take a pause? Can I just take a pause, please? There's just 1 minute. There seems to be an emergency call. Just 1 minute. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. Just hold on. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for the interruption. Can we move on? Can we move on now? So we have discussed Sankhya philosophy and Yoga philosophy. Now let us come to Nyaya. Nyaya philosophy. Now let us talk about Nyaya philosophy. Nyaya philosophy was given by Akshapada Gautama. You see here on your screen, Akshapada Gautama, and it was later developed by Vatsyayana and Udayanacharya. Vatsyayana and Udayanacharya. So basically given by Akshapada Gautama. Now, what does this Nyaya philosophy tell us? Nyaya philosophy tells us that man suffers on this earth because of lack of right knowledge. And once he gets the right knowledge, man stops suffering on this earth. Man stops suffering on this earth once he gets the right knowledge. Did you understand? So humans suffer due to ignorance of right knowledge because they have not got the right knowledge. Once they get the right knowledge, they'll stop suffering. And Nyaya philosophy believes in four sources of valid knowledge. Nyaya philosophy says that there are four sources of valid knowledge. What are the four sources of valid knowledge? On your screen, pratyaksha. You see here, pratyaksha, perception, anumana, inference, upamana, comparison, and shabda, sound or testimony. So pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, shabda. Now what is pratyaksha? Perception or pratyaksha, four sources of knowledge. Pratyaksha is what you perceive from your five senses or otherwise. Knowledge which you are able to gather from your five senses or otherwise. That's called pratyaksha, perception. For example, out of your five senses, let us say you enter your house, you've gone somewhere out and you enter your house and there's a lovely smell of some very tasty food coming from the kitchen and you get excited because you like that food and your mother has made nice tasty food, so you run to the kitchen. So that is what your olfactory, what do you call, your smell, sense of smell has told you. And then that is a knowledge gained from the sense of smell. Or you touch a hot cup of water and you immediately take your hand off because it has burnt your fingers. So that is pratyaksha. What knowledge you gain from your five senses or otherwise. What do you mean by otherwise? What do I mean, or what do Akshapada Gautama mean by knowledge gained otherwise? Otherwise could be, that is, you see, knowledge gained directly, laukik, that is through your five senses, or alaukik, indirectly. See here, through five senses or indirect sources. For example, knowledge gained, for example, through dreams. Like, for example, if we have this great mathematician, Srinivasa Ramanujam. Srinivasa Ramanujam. Srinivasa Ramanujam, you know, uh, great mathematician. He died in his 30s, a great genius of a mathematician. Um, Srinivasa Ramanujam had a friend called Adam Hardy. No, Adam, Britisher called Adam Hardy, and he was in very close touch with Srinivasa Ramanujan, Adam Hardy, and Adam Hardy tells us, I believe Srinivasa Ramanujam every day, every night, used to sleep with a paper and a pencil with next to his, his cot wherever he was sleeping, with a paper and a pencil, and very frequently, in some on some nights, he used to get a dream. His village goddess, he was from a village, so the goddess of that village will come in his dream and narrate formulas in his dream. And once the dream was over, immediately Ramanujam, he would get up from his dream, from his sleep, because he would realize that it is a dream. And then, since it is fresh in his memory, no, the formula is fresh in his memory, which has been narrated by the goddess, he will write down that formula on a piece of paper, and he'll go back to sleep. Many of these formulas of Ramanujam are even now unresolved, unsolved. Right. So that would be an example of knowledge gained through otherwise, through from your five senses, or otherwise, or something like the sixth sense. You see, something like the sixth sense. For example, we did the chapter Delhi Sultanate. I've spoken about the Tughlaqs. We have the founder of the Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq. And you remember, Ghiyazuddin, there was a revolt in Bengal, and we have us, Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq was going away from Delhi on with his army to put down that revolt. And a Sufi saint of those times, contemporary Sufi saint, Nizamuddin Aulia, gave a prophecy that the Sultan will not come back alive to Delhi. How did the saint Nizamuddin Aulia come to know about this? Unless unless he got a premonition or a sixth sense, which told him that this is going to happen, and that's what happened. He died. Did you understand? That is knowledge gained through otherwise. Um, did you get me that? Art and Yeah, no, no, it something like a sixth sense. Like, for example, suddenly you get a thought, you get a sixth sense, and suddenly you remember somebody, right? Some person whom you have met five years back. Let's say suddenly comes to your mind, and then the next moment, in another one, within an hour or so, you meet that person in the market or somewhere you're gone, and you meet that person, and you're so excited because you felt that you already are going to meet him, or you remembered him just 1 hour back and you're going to meet him. So that would be an example, right? Okay, this is knowledge gained through pratyaksha. Then anumana. What is anumana? Inference. Knowledge gained through inference or anumana. For example, I've given you an example. You see here, smoke on a hill is equal to fire on a hill. You are going on your two-wheeler or four-wheeler, or sitting in a bus and going, and through the window you see, on a far away hill, some smoke coming out. So what does your mind say? There is fire there, therefore there is smoke there. So smoke on a hill is equal to fire on a hill. That is inference. So knowledge gained through anumana, inference. Then knowledge gained through comparison, upamana. What is upamana or comparison? For example, let's say you go to some place. I've given an example here. Let's say you go to a particular place and you see a wild ox. You see a wild ox. You go to somewhere in Tibet, okay, and you see a wild ox or a yak, right? You see a wild ox, and you come back, and let us say that wild ox came in front of your car, and your car went and hit the wild ox. So you narrate that incident to your friends when you come back to your hometown, and your friends, some of them say that they have not seen a wild ox. How does a wild ox look like? And to make them understand, you will tell them that it looks something like a cow. And when they actually see a wild ox, they'll be able to relate to that animal because it looks something like a cow. That is called upamana, comparison. Did you understand? Upamana, comparison. So you know some familiar object, and with that knowledge, you compare something else. That is called upamana, comparison. Can you please raise your hands? See, the examples I'm giving you might seem a little silly, but then it is only to make you understand. Clear? So, um, so pratyaksha, what knowledge we gain from our five senses or otherwise, like dreams. Anumana is inference. Smoke on a hill is equal to fire on a hill. Upamana is comparison, right? And lastly, shabda, sound or testimony. Shabda, what is the shabda? Sound or testimony. Now, there are two rules for this shabda. One is that statement should be very clear. The statement should be very clear. And secondly, that statement should have come from an apta. Apta means somebody who's close to you. Apta, somebody who's close to you. For example, let's say there's a boy and a girl, they've got engaged. I'm giving you a hypothetical example. Okay, so let's say there's a boy and a girl, they are engaged. They are likely to be married in 1 month. And right, and both the families have brought this relationship. They have fixed the marriage between this boy and the girl. And then the girl's father comes to know some background information about this boy from some of his friends, very close friends. They tell him, they give him a lot of evidence that this boy is not the right boy for their daughter, right? And so the father is scared. Obviously, he is very cautious, and he comes and tells his daughter that this is the information I have got from the 5 or 6 of my friends, and this is the proof they have given me. So what should the girl do? The father is apta, close to her, and the statement he is giving is very clear, and he's showing proof also. That is shabda. Did you understand? That is knowledge got through shabda. It should be the statement should be well understood, and secondly, it should be coming from a trustworthy person, like your whomever you trust. It could be a father, mother, or friends, etc. Did you understand? No, Ankush, no, I told you it may be some, I'm just trying to give you some examples just to make you understand the meaning of those words. Clear? So, this is Nyaya philosophy given by Akshapada Gautama. So, man suffers because of lack of right knowledge. Once he gets the right knowledge, he will not suffer. And it believes that there are four sources of valid knowledge. Okay? Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Shabda. Right? And invalid knowledge. You see here, invalid knowledge involves memory, doubt, error, and hypothetical argument. That is called invalid knowledge. So, what are the key points in this particular Nyaya philosophy given by Gautama? Nyaya philosophy, it gives us a theory of knowledge. It is related to logic, and there are four sources of valid knowledge. Right? This is Nyaya. Then we come to Vaisheshika philosophy. So far, so good, all of you. So far, so good. Did you understand? So, Ajivika philosophy, Charvaka philosophy, Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya. Then we come to Vaisheshika philosophy. Vaisheshika philosophy was given by a person called Kannada. So, mind the spelling, please. It's not Kannada, it is Kannada. Vaisheshika philosophy, and it also talks about the atomic theory. What is this atomic theory? I'll come to that in some time. That there are some objects in this universe which further cannot be subdivided, and that is called atomic theory. Anus, he calls it as anus or atoms, very minute particles in this universe which cannot be further subdivided, and that is atomic theory. Now we'll come back here. What does the Vaisheshika philosophy of Kannada talk about? It says there are not four sources of valid knowledge, there are only two sources of valid knowledge. Okay, there are only two sources, that is pratyaksha, that is perception, and anumana, inference. In all other respects, Vaisheshika philosophy is similar to Nyaya philosophy. In all other aspects, it is the same as Nyaya philosophy, the Vaisheshika philosophy. It believes in only two sources of valid knowledge. And Vaisheshika philosophy says It refutes the pre-existence of a cause and an effect. You see, what it is philosophy say? Sankhya philosophy, Samkhya philosophy says that for every cause there's an effect. For every cause there's an effect. And for every effect there has to be a cause. That's what the Sankhya philosophy had told us. We had understood that way. What does the Vaisheshika philosophy says? It says that every effect necessarily doesn't have to have a cause. It's a new beginning. Every effect is a new beginning. Don't worry about the cause. Every effect is a new beginning. Did you understand? That is your Vaisheshika philosophy. Vaisheshika philosophy. Hello? Every effect is a new beginning. For example, I was reading somebody's article, some successful candidate story. He wanted to become a Air Force pilot. I forget the name of the person. Just a few days back, I was reading about it. So he had a problem. He passed the physical test, etc. But then when it comes to eyesight, he was not having a proper eyesight for him to become a Air Force pilot. So he was feeling very depressed, I believe. Then his father told him, or somebody told him, his father told him, why don't you appear for UPSC? Why don't you study for UPSC? And you can still be a uniformed officer. And then he later cracked the UPSC and became an IPS officer. And with a correction glass, he was able to get the IPS tag and a uniform, which he loved, a uniform service. So every effect is a new beginning. It necessarily doesn't need to have a cause. You don't need to worry about the cause. Did you understand? Hello, this is your Vaisheshika philosophy. So let us say, so it's a very positive philosophy actually, right? Very positive philosophy. Many people become depressed because of failures, isn't it? Many because of failures, and it is all a construct of our mind. Failures are all a construct of our mind. Uh, for example, I've seen in this many years of my experience, I've seen students like, for example, coming from IIT. They're supposed to be very intelligent. They have been used to hard work, etc. But if they don't crack the UPSC in the first attempt, they feel depressed because they've never failed in any exam, and they take it as a personal failure, and they give up, preparing for the UPSC just because they could not crack it in the first attempt. So, right, or love failures. Let us say love failures. Boy likes a girl, guy likes a boy, right? And something happens, and the relationship doesn't work. You don't need to feel depressed. Have the Vaisheshika philosophy in your head, and then every effect is a new beginning. So you can begin a new chapter, and then things will, and then you laugh at it after some time, after 1 year or 2 years. You laugh at the state of mind you were in, provided you take it very lightly. You learn to take it very lightly and talk positive things about yourself. So don't succumb to failures. Be very hard. Just remember the Vaisheshika philosophy. Every effect is a new beginning. Okay, clear. Now we move on. So then, of course, it talks about padarth, atoms. So there are certain elements in the universe which cannot be further subdivided. So that is called atoms or padarth. Okay, so this is your Vaisheshika philosophy. Given by Canada, gives atomic theory, recognizes 6 categories of padarth or atoms, and doesn't believe in the pre-existence of cause. Every effect is a new beginning. Did you get me that? No, I have seen in this so many years of my life. I have lost a few friends, because of they committed suicide because of love failures. No, two of them. So that's why I'm telling you. I wish, no, they knew about the Vaisheshika philosophy. So don't be depressed. One door closes, another opens. So remember the Vaisheshika philosophy. We move on here. Yeah. At last, didn't I sound philosophical? Okay. Can I move on, all of you? No, okay, Garima, the Vaisheshika philosophy doesn't believe in the pre-existence of a cause. Not necessary to have a cause for an effect. Every effect is a new beginning. Don't worry about the cause. Nyaya philosophy believes in four sources of valid knowledge, Bhimare, whereas Vaisheshika believes in only two sources of valid knowledge. Okay, only that much you remember, Baba. Only these things you remember. Clear? Then we come to Mimamsa, Purva Mimamsa. What is this Mimamsa? Mimamsa, or also called Purva Mimamsa, given by Jaimini. Now, Mimamsa means reflection. Now, understand this. What is the gist of this? Mimamsa, also called Purva Mimamsa, it believes in only one source of valid knowledge. There are four sources of valid knowledge, that is Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, and Shabda. Mimamsa believes in only Shabda, that is the Vedas. It only believes in the Vedas, Vedic knowledge. All the knowledge of the world are contained in the Vedas. You don't need to look beyond the Vedas. That's what the Mimamsa philosophy believes in. And why is it called Purva Mimamsa? Because you see, you have, each Veda is divided to various parts, six parts, like Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads. So this is an orthodox school of philosophy. Mimamsa. It believes in the Karma Kanda part of the Vedas. That is the ritualistic part of the Vedas. So that is why it's called Purva Mimamsa. It believes in the Karma Kanda, that is the ritualistic part of the Vedas. You see here, I've written here, each Veda is divided to six parts, like Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads. Samhitas and Brahmanas deal with the Karma Kanda, that is rituals. Whereas Aranyakas and Upanishads deal with Gnana philosophy, that is knowledge. So it's called Purva Mimamsa because it believes in the Karma Kanda, that is the ritualistic part of the Vedas, right? And it believes in only one source of valid knowledge, that is Shabda or Vedic testimony. So all the knowledge of the world is contained in the Vedas. So you just have to follow the Vedas and everything will be okay. So that's what this philosophy believes in. So this is the earliest, the work of this system was given by Jaimini in his Mimamsa Sutra, and we have Shabara Swami, Kumarila Bhatta, and Prabhakara, who are the other exponents of this philosophy called Purva Mimamsa. The philosophy was given by Jaimini, and we have other exponents, Shabara Swami, Kumarila Bhatta, and Prabhakara. So this is the Mimamsa. Did you understand? Mimamsa, also called Purva Mimamsa, because it believes in the Karma Kanda part of the Vedas. That is the ritualistic part of the Vedas. It doesn't believe in the Gnana part of the Vedas. It believes in the ritualistic part of the Vedas. So it is an orthodox school of Indian philosophy. Hello? Can you please raise your hands? Did you understand? Go back and read. And if you have any doubts, ask me tomorrow. Go back and read and ask me tomorrow if you have not understood any part of this philosophy topic. We move on. Then we come to, so you see here, I have given you some key points. Law of karma given by Jaimini, authority of the Vedas, all the knowledge are in the Vedas, believes in verbal testimony, that is Vedic testimony, believes in karma kanda portion of the Vedas, that is the ritualistic part of the Vedas. It believes in the ritualistic part. Karma kanda means ritualistic part of the Vedas. Then lastly, we have Vedanta, also called Uttara Mimamsa, given by Vyasadeva Badarayana. Vedanta or Uttar Mimamsa given by Vyasadeva Badarayana. Vedanta means Veda Anta. If you divide this word in like a Sandhi, Veda plus Anta is equal to Vedanta. That is, it comes towards the end of the Vedic literature. That is, conclusion of the Vedas. Vedanta means conclusion or concluding part of the Vedas. That's called Vedanta. So Vedanta or Uttara Mimamsa is based on three textbooks. We have the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras. It is based on three textbooks: Upanishads, particularly Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, Taittiriya, and Katha Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. And based on the interpretation of these three textbooks, there are five schools. Understand this? Based on the interpretation of these three textbooks, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, five schools emerged. What are the five schools? On your screen, Kevala Advaita of Shankaracharya, Dvaita of Madhva, Dvaita Advaita, that is Bheda Abheda of Nimbaraka, Vishishta Advaita of Ramanujacharya, and Shuddha Advaita of Vallabhacharya. We'll talk about it. Hello, are you there with me? So Vedanta means which comes towards the end of the Vedas, based it is based on three textbooks, and based on the interpretation of these three textbooks are Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutras. Based on the interpretation of these three textbooks, five schools emerged. First of all, we have Kevala Advaita. When I began medieval India, you remember I began with Shankaracharya and his philosophy of Advaita. So I have spoken briefly, I have made you understand what is Advaita. But again, let us again repeat it. Kevala Advaita, or absolute monism, or absolute non-dualism, also called monism. So what does Shankara say? Shankara says God, understand this, God and God's creation are one and the same. God and God's creation are the same. It is one. That is monism. That's called monism or Advaita. Dvaita means dualism. Advaita means monism. Hello, are you there with me? Advaita. Dvaita means dualism. Advaita means monism. Only one. So God and God's creation are one and the same. You cannot confuse the two. Both are the same. When you say God, you say it also means uh, it encompasses creation. You cannot say God and God's creation are separate. So what is the gist of Shankara's philosophy? So it says Brahman is the only reality. Brahman is the only reality. The world exists only in our mind. The world exists only in our mind. And I gave you an example earlier also. I'll again repeat this example. Snake and rope in the dark analogy. So everything is a construct of your mind, as Shankara puts it. The only reality is Brahman. The only reality is Brahman. Everything else is a construct of your mind, what he call illusion. He calls it as illusion. It is a construct of your mind or Maya. Did you understand? Here, for example, let's say you go to your ancestral village. I gave you this example when I did medieval India, trying to explain to you Advaita. I'll again give you an example. So this is, let us say, your ancestral village. This is the house, right, where your ancestors used to stay. Let's take a hypothetical example, and you're staying in that house, your ancestral village house, for the last 2 or 3 days, and somebody told you before you came there on the phone that a snake was seen inside the house just before you came and settled down there in that house for a holiday. Then one evening you are stamping something. You have entered that house at around 8 o'clock in the evening. You entered a room in that house and you're stamping something, and you mistake it for a snake, and you shout out loudly. You're so scared, and you jump and sit on a cot. And when somebody comes and switches on the light or puts a torch as to what you have stamped, and you realize that you have stamped a rope. It was not a snake, but it was actually a rope, which was left there by some servant. Now, till the light was flashed on that rope, that was your reality. The rope was real for you because that's what the snake was real for you. So you thought that rope is equal to snake. That was your reality, right? And once the torch was flashed on that particular rope, you realize that it is a rope and it's not a snake. That is also real. So everything is a construct of your mind. So therefore, to put it in simple language, be very careful of what you think, what thoughts come to your mind, because that can become real according to Shankara. Thoughts are real. They have energy, they have power. Therefore, be very careful of what you think, particularly what you think repeatedly. That can become your reality. So the only reality is Brahman. Everything else is a Maya or illusion, according to Shankara. This is Kevala Advaita. Did you get me there? All of you? Clear? Did you understand that? Yeah, that can be your reality. In fact, I will tell you something. You have a book, slight digression from the class. You have a book called, I'm sure some of you might have read this book. It's called, what's the name of this book? The Secret. The name of this book is called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne. So you get on Amazon. This book is beautiful. And this is what is the gist of this, Shankara's philosophy. She's talking about Shankara's philosophy indirectly. So what you think becomes your reality, the secret. This is not helpful for UPSC, but this book is helpful for your life as such. So therefore, if you're writing the exam next month, don't bother about this book. After the exam, you can pick it up and read it. It's a small book. It will definitely help you in your life. Right? The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Okay, let me move on. Then we have another philosophy called Dvaita philosophy. Dvaita given by Madhvacharya. Dvaita. So what does Madhvacharya tell us? That there are two realities. That is, God and God's creation are not the same as put by Shankara. They are separate. So God and God's creation. That is Brahman. You see here, Brahman and Jiva and Jagat. Jiva and Jagat. They are separate. You cannot say both are the same, right? So God is superior, is and then God is the one who controls Jiva and Jagat. And Jiva can get rid of the cycle of rebirth by worshipping Brahman. So this is the philosophy given by Madhvacharya. So Jiva can get rid of the cycle of rebirth by worshipping Brahman. Brahman is superior, is God, and controls Jiva and Jagat. Jiva and Jagat are dependent upon Brahman. And Jiva can get rid of the cycle of rebirth by worshipping Brahman. This is the philosophy given by Madhva. And he criticized Shankara's philosophy of Maya, illusion. Right? This is Dvaitavada given by Madhvacharya. Clear? Can I move on? Then we have another philosophy, Bheda Abheda. Bheda Abheda or Dvaita Advaita. In English, very easy. Dvaita Advaita. Dvaita is what? This is a philosophy given by Madhvacharya. Dvaita. That is, God and God's creation are separate. Whereas Advaita is given by Shankara. That is, God and God's creation are one and the same. So here, in other words, Nimbarka, the person who gives this philosophy, Veda Abeda or Dvaita Advaita, says both are there. Dvaita is also there, Advaita is also there. That is his philosophy. So, did you understand? Brahman and individual soul, there are two entities. That is, there is dualism as well as there is monism, Advaita. Both are there, he says. Nimbaraka. Aham Brahmasmi means I am God. I am God. Aham Brahmasmi. So there is supposedly God in each and every one of us, isn't it? Our consciousness is our conscience is supposed to be our God. So in that sense, there is that that small that inner voice which is telling you something is good, something is bad. That is supposed to be God. So Bhimare, Aham Brahmasmi. I am God. Okay. And that's what the Jains believe. What is Jina? The perfect manifestation of a human being, the perfect human being. He is a Jina. He has all the attributes of a god. Therefore, Jina should be worshipped. He is superior to God. Hello, are you there with me? This is Bheda Abheda, given by Nimbaraka. Both there is dualism as well as monism. Then we come to Vishishta Advaita, given by Ramanujacharya. Vishishta means what? Qualified. And Advaita is monism. So that is, Brahman is one and supreme. The world is part of this Brahman. You see here, this is Brahman. This is Brahman, and the world is a part of this Brahman. World is a part of this Brahman. So this is Vishishta Advaita given by Ramanujacharya. So Brahman is one and supreme, and the world is a part of this Brahman. Hello, clear? This is philosophy topic. I don't know any other way to explain this, but then I'm trying my best. I hope I'm able to get across. Then we have one more philosophy. Yeah, world is a subset of Brahman. Very good, Ankush. Thank you. Then we come to Shuddha Advaita. Shuddha means pure, and Advaita is monism. It was given by Vallabhacharya. So what does he say? World is real. You see here, world is real. So is the Brahman. But then Brahman is the one which forms the world. Brahman does not undergo any change. Brahman and the world are the two sides of the same coin. So you see, if this is a coin, Brahman And so this is one part of the coin, Brahman, and the other part of the coin is world. So Brahman and world are two sides of the same coin, right? This is Shuddha Advaita given by Vallabhacharya. So world is a part of the Brahman is given by Ramanujacharya. And Vallabha says both are two sides of the same coin, world and Brahman. Right? Now, though these schools, so there are 5 schools in Vedanta, though these schools differ regarding the difference between Brahman and Jiva, that is individual soul, they agree on certain common things. What are the common things they agree upon? All these schools reject the philosophy of Buddhism and Jainism. They reject the philosophy of Buddhism and Jainism. Then they believed in transmigration of souls. That is, if you do bad, bad things will happen to you. And you have to square off your karmic debts. You cannot run away from the bad deeds, bad karmas. So if somebody has done bad karmas in his previous births, first of all, he has to stop doing bad karmas in his next birth, in his subsequent births. And then he has to keep on taking repeated births on this earth until he can square off his karmic debts. So in a weighing scale, if there's a weighing scale, good karma and bad karma should be equal. So this is good karma and this is bad karma. And this is karma as a weighing scale. So it should be equal. Only then he'll attain moksha. That's called transmigration of souls. And until that person squares off his karmic debts, he has to take repeated births on this earth. So all these schools believed in that. Then they also believed that the individual is the agent of his own action and also the recipient of the fruit. Good karma, bad karma. If he has done good things, he will enjoy the good karmas, the good results of his good deeds. And then bad karma, he also has to suffer for that. Then believe in the desirability of recycle of rebirth, from the cycle of rebirth. So everybody wants to escape the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And how to escape this cycle of birth, death, and rebirth? By following Vedic philosophy. So all these schools, 5 schools, believed in that. By following the Vedic philosophy, you can escape from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So they commonly believe in all these things. This is your philosophy topic. Are you there with me? This is a philosophy topic. Now let us look at the questions. Let us look at the questions from this topic. Match the following by using the codes given below. Purva Mimamsa. So philosophy topic, you see here. Philosophy Purva Mimamsa by Jaimini, Uttara Mimamsa by Vyasadeva Badarayana, Sankhya by Kapila, and Vaisheshika by Kannada. So these are the founders and the philosophies. Then 2013 UPSC question. Look here, 2013 question. With reference to the history of philosophical thought in India, consider the following statements regarding Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya does not accept the theory of rebirth or transmigration of soul. This is wrong. You see here, just now we have seen this. All the 5 schools believe in the transmigration of souls. They believe in the transmigration of souls. So here, what does the statement state? First statement, Sankhya does not accept the theory of rebirth or transmigration of soul. No, all the philosophies believe in transmigration of soul. So the first statement is wrong. Sankhya holds that it is a self-knowledge that leads to liberation and not any exterior influence or agent. This is correct. So which of the statements are correct? Only 2 is correct. The second statement is correct. Kavin Mosi says the PPT is not posted in chat box. I will remind them. Yeah, Kavin Mosi. Then 2014, they asked another question. So one was in 2013, 2014, they asked one question. Which one of the following pairs does not form part of the 6 systems of Indian philosophy? So what are the 6 systems? Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. So Mimamsa, Vedanta is there. Nyaya, Vaisheshika is there. Sankhya, Yoga is there. Not your Lokayalata and Kapalika. They are not part of the Shad Darshanas. They are not part of the 6 systems of Indian philosophy. Lokayata and Kapalika. Right? They're extreme Shaiva sects actually. Right? Then we come to which of the following were the followers of Vedanta philosophy? Followers of Vedanta philosophy Adi Shankaracharya, Swami Vivekananda, then Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, not Kumarila Bhatta. So 1, 2, and 4 is the answer. And I've given you a small note on Kumarila. You see here, Kumarila Bhatta, I believe he was converted to Buddhism, and he again came back. He returned to Hinduism. So, so he was one of the philosophers, a teacher, dialectician, and interpreter of Jaimini's Mimamsa Sutras. Kumarila, Prabhakara, they're all followers of Jaimini's Mimamsa Sutra. That is Purva Mimamsa. Then consider the following statements. Ajivika preaches the doctrine of Niyati, that is predeterminism. That is correct. Niyati is predeterminism. So that is correct. He was the earliest teacher of predeterminism, Goshala Maskari Putra. Charvaka preaches complete materialism and atheism. This is also correct. Which of the above are correct? Both are correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Then religious sect and founder. Shvetambara. Who was the founder of the Shvetambara sect? Stulabhadra or Stulabahu, isn't it? Digambara Bhadrabahu. Ajivika sect, Maskari Goshala Maskari Putra or Makkari Goshala. And Charvaka Ajita Kesha Kambalin. Clear? Right. So what is efficient cause? You see here, efficient cause is the agent that brings something about. That is a carpenter, for example. So he is the one who influences it. Material cause is the matter from which the thing is made from. For example, the wood of a chair. That's called material cause. Formal cause, final cause. So this is about philosophy topic. Clear? This is about philosophy. Any doubts here? Any questions? So please go through it at your leisure. Maybe 2, 3 philosophies or 1 or 2 philosophies per day. You can just try to understand. In case you don't want to read entire philosophy topic together, you might get confused. So read 1 or 2 every day and try to understand those philosophies before you go to the next philosophies. Next day you can do 2 more, 2 or 3 more, like that, right? So please do that. Then we come to this topic called painting. PPT has not been shared with you. Yogita, I will get back that. I'll get back to you about this. Nitin Singhania considers Brihaspati as founder of Charvaka. Let me look at it. I'm not saying Nitin Singhania is wrong. I'm not saying that. But then let me throw some light upon it tomorrow about this, right? What is good for one might not be good for other. So which is bad, good? How can we know? This is a very philosophical question, Bimre. What is good for one might not be good for others. So which is good, bad, etc. How can we know? Very interesting. From the results, I suppose. What is good, bad? How can we know? Is from the result we are getting from that. If you are doing something good, you'll get good results. If something bad is happening, bad results. So it all depends upon that. Okay. Now youth contemplate about uh, the other philosophical aspects. Let us come to painting. Can we just come down to painting here? Hari says, can we take a early break just to refresh? It's a little bit boring. Yeah, philosophy topic is like that. You want a break? Hello, all of you? All of you? If everybody agree, I have no problem. Ankush says no. Krishna says no. Krishna says yes. Okay, most of you are saying no. Brajneet says okay. So most of you want a break at 7 o'clock. Hurry. So I'll go by the popular. So we start at 5 o'clock. Okay. You let me give an overview of painting. Hello. Let me give an overview of painting and then we'll go for a break. Is it fine? Let me give you an overview of painting and then we'll go for a break. Okay. Okay. Fine. Now let me talk about Indian painting. So this is one of the important topics, but then interesting also. Important and interesting. Now look here. Let me talk about Indian painting here. Indian painting. Now look here on your screen. Understand this Indian painting. Gist of it. I'll give you the gist of it. Understand the gist, because you might get lost in the maze of information I have filled up here. From few sources I have taken and I have put it, and I keep on adding whenever I find something relevant from the exam point of view. Okay, so but then whatever PPT on Indian painting is there is very very good. I would say it's very good. You will be able to easily understand. But before that, you please understand the gist of Indian painting. What do we study? How do we proceed in this survey of Indian painting? We start our survey of Indian painting. So I request your attention here, please. Understand this, the gist of Indian painting. Keep writing. So because once you read the gist, you'll be able to understand the entire topic. That's what I would expect. Very interesting. Now look here. First of all, we start our survey from what is called prehistoric painting. Prehistoric painting. And I'll write painting like this. This is painting. Okay, painting is this one. Painting P followed around the around the circle. Okay, so prehistoric painting. So what is this prehistoric painting? Early man used to live inside caves, isn't it? Early man used to live in caves. And on the walls of some of these caves, we have some paintings found. Such caves are found in present-day Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, then Ezutu Guha in Kerala, Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, and many other caves. So we have some paintings. So this is called prehistoric art or painting. What was the theme of these painters? What were painted basically? Nature, flora, fauna, the plants, animals, birds, insects, lizards, right? Then hunting scenes, dancing scenes, community life, women collecting, mushrooms, men collecting honey. Then people are holding each other's hands and dancing in circles, or hunting scenes, or even genitalia, female and male sexual organs. They are also painted on these caves, on the walls of these caves. That's called prehistoric paintings, right? Basically, nature was the main theme, and whatever was around them, whatever they could. So from that, we can come to know the type of environment, ecology which existed during those days. What type of animals, for certain animals to survive and thrive, the environment should support. So we can presume the existence of a thick forest or a tropical forest, or rainforest like that. So this is prehistoric paintings. Then, of course, we come to uh, Indus civilization. That is Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization. And we have examples of Harappan civilization on their pots. Harappan civilization paintings on their pots and seals. On seals and Harappan pots, we have examples of paintings, right? The Harappans used to make pots on the wheel. It's a wheel-turned pottery, and then they used to fire it in the kiln. They used to bake it in the kiln, and then they used to give it a red color slip of paint. So the pot was red in color, and on which black color designs were made. Therefore, Harappan pottery is called black on red ware. And also on some of the seals, we have some paintings, animals, trees, plants, geometrical designs. These are some of the paintings we find, right? Then suddenly from Harappan civilization, we jump to Gupta period, because in the interim between Harappan and Gupta, we don't have any examples of paintings. So we go to Gupta period paintings. And what are the places where we find paintings during the Gupta period? Of course, Ajanta in Maharashtra. So we'll talk about Ajanta paintings. Ajanta is a World Heritage Site, as you all know. There are 29 caves here. Some books say 30, but then let me write 29. There are 29 caves here, out of which 4 are chaityas. 4 are chaityas. I've shown you pictures of Ajanta when we did art and architecture. And then 25 are viharas. viharas. And on the walls and ceilings, not just the walls, but also on the ceiling, we have beautiful paintings. Ajanta is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And who were the people who painted these paintings? Obviously, the Buddhist monks. So Ajanta, entirely the theme is Buddhism. The theme at Ajanta is Buddhism. Buddha, Bodhisattvas, both Hinayana and Mahayana are represented at Ajanta. Then we have also, the plants, animals, decorative element is there. And so basically the theme is Buddhism at Ajanta. So in Gupta period, we talk about Ajanta paintings. That is number one. Number two is, of course, we have Ajanta Bagh. Bagh paintings, they also belong to the Gupta period. Bagh is in Madhya Pradesh. And third, third is Sittanavasal. Sittanavasal, Sittanavasal in the Pudukottai district of Tamil Nadu. So these three places we get paintings belonging to the Gupta period. Ajanta, Bagh, and Sittanavasal in Tamil Nadu. Basically, Sittanavasal in Tamil Nadu, you get Pallava, Pandya period paintings. Mostly it is Jain paintings. Jain paintings are seen in Sittanavasal. We'll come to that in some time. Okay, this is Gupta period. Then, of course, we talk about Ellora. We talk about Ellora, 100 kilometers from Ajanta is Ellora, and all the three religions are represented in Ellora. So we have paintings with themes from Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. So all the three religions are represented in Ellora. There are 34 caves at Ellora, and on the walls of some of these caves, we find paintings at Ellora. Then we go to pre-medieval period. We go to pre-medieval period. Pre-medieval period. Now, what do we notice in pre-medieval period? We see a transition. Understand this? A transition from wall paintings to miniature paintings. We see a transition from wall paintings to miniature paintings. So, what is the main reason? What is this wall paintings? Paintings are on the walls. So, from prehistoric times, the wall was the canvas. So, in that context, you also need to understand what's a mural. You understand what's a mural? What's a fresco? We'll discuss all this. What is a fresco? What's a mural? What is tempera? So we will try to understand the meaning of all these things. Mural, fresco, tempera. Okay. Now we have a transition from wall paintings to miniature paintings. So what are miniature paintings? Very small paintings. And so you need to know the reason why this transition happened. Why were wall paintings abandoned or given up in place for miniature paintings? So miniature paintings were preferred in the pre-medieval period. What are the examples of miniature paintings? First of all, what's a miniature painting? What are the themes on which were followed in miniature painting, and who are the people, who are the dynasties who followed miniature paintings? For example, we have Rajput paintings. Rajput paintings are divided into two: Rajasthani and Pahari or Pahari. So Rajput paintings are divided into Rajasthani and Pahari. They are examples of miniature paintings. Similarly, we have Pala paintings, Pala period paintings. They are also examples of miniature. We have Mughal paintings. They are also examples of miniature, Mughal paintings. Then Ragamala. What is Ragamala? I'll tell you later. Ragamala paintings, company paintings, etc. These are all examples of miniature paintings. Right? Then we come to medieval period. So pre-medieval, then we come to medieval. Medieval period. Now, what are the main themes? Very interesting this is. What are the main themes in medieval period, medieval India, medieval India, what are the main themes? Main themes were what is called Naika Bheda. So, what is the meaning of this? I'll tell you later. Naika Bheda. Number two, Baramasa. And number three, Ragamala. Ragmala. These are the three themes on which paintings were made in medieval times. Naika Bheda, Baramasa, and Ragamala. Right? Now, what is Naika Bheda, Baramasa, Ragamala? So here basically Naika Bheda. Basically, it's about I dare with me all of you. Whatever. Okay, now what is Naika Bheda? Yeah, Sakshi, you're right. Naika Bheda is you see meeting of lovers. Meeting of lovers. Then, like for example, you have a boy and a girl, right? You have a boy and a girl, right? And they fall in love with each other. So this is meeting of lovers. So they're meeting and talking with each other. Okay. This is first stage. I'm explaining what is Naika Bheda. Then second is there is friction in the relationship. There is friction in the relationship. The boy is not talking to the girl or the girl is not talking to the boy. So there's some gadbad in the relationship. Friction, right? And thirdly, separation. Separation of lovers. This is the theme. Meeting, friction, and separation. Right? So that is Naika Bheda. And so here in the paintings, either you are they are show they, you have a Nayaka. Nayaka is a hero and a Naika, heroine. So you have heroine depicted, or you have Radha and Krishna depicted. Radha and Krishna depicted, or Krishna with the gopis depicted. So Naika, Radha, Krishna, right? I'll come to that. Very interesting this is. So Nayak, then Baramasa. What is Baramasa? As Sakshi has put it, we have again the theme is the same. I'll tell you, sir. Look here. What is Baramasa? Baramasa. Mas is season. Bara is 12. Bara and Mas. So the various seasons are shown. 12 months in a year, various seasons are shown. Basically, it is the mind of the female, which is depicted here. Understand this, Bara Masa. For example, let's say there's a room, okay? There's a room, right? And then you have two lovers sitting and talking with each other. So you have the boy sitting here, and you have the girl here. There's the girl, and through the window, understand this, through the window in the background, you see the nature. For example, thick clouds, dark clouds are there. Dark clouds are shown, right? Dark clouds, and then wind is shown in the sense the trees are swaying and it is heavily raining. So from this picture, what do you know? It is Varsha Rutu, Varsha. It is rainy season. So through the painting, you come to know what is happening, what was the season or the nature. Let us say there's another painting where there is a spring season. Both the lovers are sitting and talking in a room, and in the background through the window you see beautiful sunlight, green meadows, birds are flying, okay, and everything is green. So that means it is a spring season, right? It's a spring season like that. So that is called Baramasa. Are you there with me? Hello, are you there with me? All of you, clear? Okay. And third is Ragamala. What is Ragamala? Ragamala. So this is very unique to India, Ragmala. That is, various musical modes are shown in the form of painting. Various musical modes are shown in the form of paintings. So for particular ragas or music, you have particular colors used. That is ragamala. So basically, in medieval times, the themes were Nayaka Beda, Baramasa, and Ragamala. Okay. Now, so we move on. I'll open another page. So what are the various examples of medieval paintings? So where do we see medieval paintings? Medieval paintings, right? Where do we see? First of all, we have the Rajput paintings. Rajput paintings, which we see in Rajasthan and Pahadi areas. So Rajput paintings are divided to Rajasthani and Pahadi. So we have the various Rajput courts, the various Rajput courts, like for example, Mewar, then Jodhpur, Bikaner, right? Then Marwar, Kota, Kachwaha, Alwar, etc. These are the various. So in the kingdoms, in the courts of the various Rajput kings, we have these paintings. In the courts, in the royal courts of various Rajput rulers. Okay, in these states, Mewar, Jodhpur, Bikaner, Marwar, Kota, etc. Then we have Pahadi areas. So in the lower reaches of the Himalayas, there were small Rajput kingdoms. So in the lower reaches of the Himalayas, lower heights of the Himalayas, there were small Rajput kingdoms. And the type of painting which was patronized in the courts of those Rajput Rajas are called Pahadi paintings. Pahari literally means mountainous area. So here, what are the various Rajput kingdoms where we see Pahadi paintings? Basoli, then Guler, Kangra, Garhwal, right, etc. So these are the important paintings. And of course, we have in Rajasthani, we also have Kishangarh, a place called Kishangarh. Then, so medieval paintings we see in Rajput, divided to Rajput paintings. Rajput paintings divided to Rajasthani and Pahadi. Then we also have Central Indian paintings, Central India paintings. So where do we get Central Indian paintings? We find them in Bundelkhand, that is Bundeli paintings, Bundelkhand, Malwa and Gwalior. Malwa and Gwalior. Then, of course, we have South Indian paintings. South Indian paintings seen in the Pallava temples, Pallava period paintings, Pandyas, Cholas, Vijayanagara. Okay, so Kerala paintings. Kerala. This is South Indian paintings. And of course, we also have Deccan paintings. Deccan paintings. Deccan paintings. Seen in Bijapur, Ahmednagar, Golconda. So medieval India paintings, Rajput, divided to Rajasthani, Pahadi, then Central Indian paintings, Central India paintings, South India, Deccan paintings. Then we come to Mughal paintings. Mughal. So please understand, I'll tell you what are the most important aspect of paintings which you should focus upon. I'll tell you later. Mughal paintings. So we trace Mughal paintings from Babur till Aurangzeb. Okay, so Mughal paintings from Babur all the way till Aurangzeb. The peak of Mughal painting is under Jahangir. The peak of Mughal painting is under Jahangir. So we study about that. And of course, Difference between Mughal and Rajput paintings. Difference between Mughal and Rajput paintings. Right. Then we come to the colonial period, European, colonial period. Colonial period. In the colonial period, we have three styles. One is the British style. One is British style. What is this British style? I'll tell you later. British style, which we see in three phases. Then we come to the court style. Court style seen in Mysore and Tanjore. Court style. After the death of Tipu Sultan, we have the restoration of the Wadayar rule in Mysore. So in the Wadayar court in Mysore, we have so this is called Mysore style of painting. Mysore and then Tanjore, or what is called Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu. Right, we have a Maratha rule there. Shivaji's family um ruled from Tanjavur as a part of Shivaji's family, descendants of Shivaji. Right, so they ruled from Tanjore. So in the royal courts of Mysore and Tanjore, the type of painting which was patronized by the rulers, by the royal courts, is called court style. And of course, we come to third one, that is modern national art style. Modern national art style. So painting also became a mode of expressing patriotism, nationalism during the freedom struggle. During the freedom struggle, painting also became a mode of expressing our patriotism and nationalism on the part of our freedom fighters. That's called modern national art style. Under that, we study, of course, Raja Ravi Verma. So the paintings of Raja Ravi Verma, Raja Ravi Verma. Then, of course, we study about Bengal School of Painting. So, what is this Bengal School of Painting? I'll tell you later. Bengal School of Painting under people like Abanindranath Tagore. So, there was one British painter. Understand this? There was a British painter called E.B. Havel. E.B. Havel. So he was very angry because Indian painters were adopting Western themes. They were adopting Western themes and they were painting, and he did not like it. The reason is E.B. Havel felt that India has such a rich tradition of painting from the ancient times. So he encouraged some of the painters to paint Indian themes. He said, you don't need to copy European themes. And he also condemned those Britishers who were condemning Indian painters and Indian themes. So E.B. Havel inspired a few painters like Abanindranath Tagore. Abanindranath Tagore was a nephew of poet Rabindranath Tagore. So he inspired a few painters like Abanindranath Tagore to paint Indian themes. And that led to the birth of the so-called Bengal School of Painting under people like Abanindranath Tagore, Sharda Ukil, Jaimini Roy, Amrita Shergill, etc. That is called the Bengal School of Painting. We'll come to that in some time, right? Then we also speak about what is called Patna School, also called Company School. Patna or Company School. So, what is this Patna or Company School of Painting? We will talk about it. And apart from that, we talk about folk paintings. Different parts of India, we have different types of folk painting in the rural areas, in the villages, in the households, in the villages. We have different types of painting followed. For example, we have the Varli painting from Maharashtra, then Pattachitra from Orissa, Tanka painting seen in Ladakh, um, Kalamkari form of painting seen in Andhra, like that. So different, of course, we have Madhubani painting seen in the Madhubani district of Bihar. So different parts of India, we have in different states, we have different folk paintings, and also Rangoli. Rangoli, generally called by different names in different parts of India. in the threshold of your house. You have in the early morning. Traditionally, women in rural areas nowadays, even that has become mostly a rural. Only in rural areas you see. In some cities also you might see people wash the threshold of their house, and then they'll light a lamp, and then they'll put a rangoli. Generally, in South India, it is dry powder, white powder is used, whereas in North India, it is mixed with water. The white powder is mixed with water, and drawings are made on the floor. That is also part of folk paintings. So rangoli is called by different names in different parts of India. I put a chart for you. Folk paintings, and then I have also given you a short note on important painters of India, like for example, Sharda Ukil, Amrita Shergill, M.F. Hussain, Makbul Fida Hussain, etc., etc. This is your topic of painting. This is the gist of painting. Did you understand? Okay, very good, Sakshi. Rajasthan dry powder is used. Very good. In different parts of India, but generally North, I said. Now, in North India, generally it is water. There may be exceptions here and there. But did you understand the gist of this topic called painting? We are going to study all these things as part of painting. Mega, I should finish it by maximum Thursday or Friday. If I cannot finish it on Thursday, I'll do it on Friday. But mostly it will be on Thursday. Let's see. Don't worry. Until I finish the syllabus, the class will go on. But then I'll hope to hopefully finish it by the end of this week. Clear? Then we can we go for a break and come back? Did you understand? This is the gist of painting. We'll talk about paintings. Once we come back, we'll talk about paintings. Very interesting topic, important also from the exam point of view. Okay, so what is the time now? 6:56, 6:57. So we'll meet at what time? 7:12. We'll meet at 7:12. Okay, carry on. 7:12. What about English classes which are happening simultaneously? I have no idea about that, Sakshi. I'm not the person who makes a timetable. Essay classes, is it? English essay classes are going on. I have no idea about these things. I've been asked to take art and culture. I'm doing that. Ankush, I'll come to that. No, what happened in Aurangzeb's period? I'll come to that. Just hold on. Let us cross the bridge when we arrive there. You go for a break and come back now. We'll meet at 7:13, 7:13 p.m. Okay, 15 minutes break. Carry on. Good evening. Can we start this topic called painting? Let us make a survey of these PPTs on painting. I've given you an overview of Indian painting before the break. I hope you have understood it. So let's begin. Loud and clear. There's no problem from my end, I suppose. Okay, let's talk about Indian painting. And what you see here on your screen, you see a picture which I have put. This is supposed to be the best example of Indian painting of the ancient times. This is the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani in cave number one at Ajanta. So this is supposed to be the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani. Bodhisattva Padmapani in cave number one, Ajanta. Cave number one, Ajanta. And you can see here the beautiful contours of the body of Bodhisattva Padmapani. Look at his eyes, you know, in contemplation. He's holding a lotus in his hands, this Bodhisattva. So Padma is lotus, as you know. So he is Bodhisattva Padmapani. Okay, in Ajanta cave number one. So, what are the features of Indian painting? So, here we have religion, philosophy, faith. So, Indian artist is highly influenced by all these things: religion, philosophy, faith. It is more imaginary. Indian painting is more imaginary. They lack the elements of realism. We have folklores. Folklores are also one of the themes. You have expression of religion and faith via symbols. You have elements of joy, inspiration, and happiness in Indian paintings. They reflect morality and integrity. So they give importance to morality and integrity. And we have drawing outlines. It gives importance to drawing outlines when compared to light and shadow in very European paintings. So these are the features of Indian paintings. Vatsyayana in his Kama Sutra. So Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra talks about 6 canons of painting, the 6 rules of painting. Canons, as you know, are rules. So 6 rules of painting. So what are the 6 rules of painting mentioned in Kama Sutra of Vatsyayana? Rupa Bheda, the knowledge appearance of a painting. Rupa, that's called Rupa Bheda. Just know the rules. Where are the rules of Indian painting mentioned? It is in Kama Sutra of Vatsyayana. You don't need to know these words. You just know this: Rupa Bheda, Pramanam, Bhava. You know, you know these are related to rules of painting. If you know that much, enough. So Rupa Bheda, knowledge, appearance; Pramanam, right perception, measure, and structure; Bhava, that is feelings on forms; Lavanya Yoganam, infusion of grace and rhythm; Sadrishyam, similitude; Varaika Bhanga, deftness in the use of brush and colors. So these are all the rules, 6 canons of painting. Abanindranath Tagore, the nephew of Rabindranath Tagore, classifies Indian paintings into the following classes. So these are the various components of Indian painting given by Abanindranath Tagore: knowledge, appearance, correct perception, etc. So these are the rules given by Abanindranath Tagore, right? Then we come to types of painting. There are different types of paintings. For example, wall paintings. Wall paintings are called Bitta Chitra, done on walls of buildings or caves. For example, Ajanta cave paintings, Ellora cave paintings, they're all Bitta Chitra, wall paintings. Chitrapat, that is on clothes or on canvas. Chitrapat. Chitrafalak, on stone, wood, then or any other surface. Then Lagu Chitra, or miniature paintings. Then Lepya Chitra, painting on textiles. Lekhya Chitra, on sketches. Lekhya Chitra is sketches. These are different types of paintings. Then, first of all, development of painting, we look at prehistoric paintings and then paintings in the historic age. That is when man began to, write, literate, when he was literate. So, what's first of all, prehistoric paintings. So, where do they are in the form of murals? Please understand what's a mural. What's a mural? Mural is nothing but painting done on a static surface like a wall. So, paintings done on static surfaces like walls are called murals. You can see here, these are called murals. Paintings done on static surfaces. You cannot move the surface. So when you do painting on a static surface like a wall, it's called murals. And we have such murals found in various parts of India. We have mural paintings or prehistoric paintings in Kaimur Hill in Madhya Pradesh. Then we have Bimbetka, then Panchamari in Madhya Pradesh, Chitroha in Allahabad, Nevada in Bihar. So these are the various places where we find paintings. Basically, nature was painted, flora and fauna, plants, animals, then lizards, dancing scene, hunting scene, war scenes, battle scenes, community life. Such things were painted. So I made a chart for you. You can see here on your screen. And today I had sent some additional information, and I asked them to share it. Have they shared it with you? I was told they have already shared it. It is on the BEP app. Hello, all of you. Additional reading material. Have you gone through it? Similitude is, that is length and breadth, such things. Bimare. Yeah, Priyanka. So please go through that additional information. Um, okay, it's on the BEP app. Um, so please go through it. And I was told it will also be put on the chat box also. So here on your screen, we have the region, Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. What are the centers in UP in Mirzapur area? Likhunia, Basoli, Lori, Khobar, Vijaygarh, Ahirora. So what are the various themes? Famous paintings from Mirzapur, UP. Poaching scene of a sambar using a spear. Sambar is a type of deer, as you understand. Then scene of poaching a Barasinga. Barasinga is a huge deer, with huge antlers, poaching a wild pig. So basically, the theme was this: hunting, hunting, dancing, then community life. Like, for example, um, women collecting honey, or cooking, women cooking, collection of honey. Then you also have male and female genitalia, private parts, painted, male and female genitalia. So today, whatever extra information I've shared, I have given you some pictures of cave paintings. So in the additional information, please go through it. So I have collected these pictures, of paintings from prehistoric age. So you see, different types of paintings. This is just for information. So we have male and female genitalia. Then many times we have animals, of course, hunting, dancing, community life, women cooking, collection of honey, male, female genitalia, etc. These are all the basic themes in paintings. Similarly, we find paintings in Garhwal, Kumaon region, in Uttarakhand, in areas like Lakhodiyar, there's Almora, Dalband in Chamoli. So, for example, we have paintings of dancing humans, a representation of human figurine like a thin stick. So, like this, like a thin stick. Humans are depicted like a thin stick, like this, and they're holding hands, each other's hands, right, and dancing together, right, like that. So that's how they're shown. So similarly, we have paintings in Raigad area, Madhya Pradesh, then Panchamari area, again in Madhya Pradesh. South India, we have in various parts of Andhra, Karnataka, northern Kerala, etc. So these are the important areas where we find prehistoric paintings, right? Then we also talk about Bhimbetka on your screen. Bhimbetka. Bhimbetka is in Madhya Pradesh, as you know, near Bhopal. There are about 800 caves here. There are 800 caves in Bhimbetka, out of which 500 caves contain paintings. And many of the paintings are very near to the ceilings. So you have paintings on the walls and ceilings of the caves. Most of them belong to the prehistoric period. So what are painted? Mesolithic boar, for example, painted in dark red. Mesolithic boar, elephant, rhino, boar, barasinga. Different animals. Battle scenes are painted in red color, and elephant is painted in white color. So this is in Bhimbetka. I put some pictures here on your screen. Um, I was told it has been put. You have not got the PPTs of painting. Hello, you have not got the PPTs of painting. Beamery says no. Okay, wait. Let me ask them. Class, I'll inform them. After class, I'll inform them. I was told it is in the BEP. Uh, you know, the previous classes. Whatever recordings are there, probably that's what he meant. The previous classes. From Monday onwards, it is there. From yesterday, from Monday, for yesterday's class, recording is there with annotation. Can you please find out and let me know? Hello? Because, okay, thank you. Let me know, please. So these are the paintings. Did you get me? So basically, it's about nature, flora, fauna, hunting, community life, etc. That's what is shown in the paintings. So what are the type of colors used? Basically, how did they derive the colors? From minerals. So from minerals, like for example, from hematite. From hematite, the red color was derived because hematite has iron content, so therefore red color was derived from hematite. So minerals, then plant extracts. That's how they derive their color. They used the fur of animals or hair of animals for the brush. So they used to make brushes out of that, and they used to paint. Right? You can see some paintings here in Bimbetka on your screen. You see these paintings. You see a person riding a horse, sitting on the horse and riding. This person is having a bow and arrow in his hand. You can see a deer here. You can see deer here, right? Similarly, you have another deer here, right? So these are some of the paintings. Class recordings for past couple of days is not there. So Shriza, from Monday it is there. I was told from yesterday's class. The backlog, that is last week's. They have given the list to the technical team. They will upload it shortly. That's what I've been told, Shriza, and others in the class. So whatever videos are there, because of some technical issue, they were not able to put it. They are working on it, and they'll put it very shortly. That's what I've been told. But from yesterday's class, it is there. That's what I was told. They'll be uploading it on a regular basis. They have resolved the technical problem for the last week or last 10 days. Whatever videos are not there, they're resolving that, and they'll be able to extract that, and then they'll be able to give it to you. Yeah, can we move on? So see, these are some of the paintings I have put here for your information. You see here paintings, prehistoric paintings. Then we talk about Harappan paintings. Harappan period paintings generally seen on earthenwares, that is pots and toys. The Harappan pottery is called black on redware. You see here Harappan. So we find examples of Harappan painting on their toys and pots. Harappans might have painted the walls of their houses, even the floor of their houses with paints, but they have not survived. We have various types of painting, various figures like trees are shown, people tree, neem, date, banana, birds, animals, geometric designs, even humans are shown in the Harappan paintings. Okay, right? Fisherman carrying basket on his shoulders from Harappa, comes from Harappa. These are some of the paintings. You see here paintings. You see here this person is, he's taking a pair of bullocks. He's taking a pair of bullocks somewhere. These people are with bows and arrows. These are all Harappan period paintings. You see here the unique hairstyle. You see this hairstyle of the Harappans. This looks like a unicorn, humpless bull. There's a person standing here. You can see before this animal he's sitting. Actually, he's sitting. These are some of the paintings of Harappans on pots, right? Then we come to paintings of the historic era. So we have paintings in all these areas: Jogimara, Ajanta, Bagh, Badami, Sittanavasana, etc. So these are all wall paintings. So Jogimara is in Chhattisgarh, in the Sarguja region of Chhattisgarh. And we have some caves here, like Jogimara, Sita Bengra, Lakshman Bengra. These are the caves. You can see here on your screen, Jogimara cave. So on the walls of these caves, we find paintings. This is Sita Bengra cave. So what are the themes of these paintings? So here themes are basically humans, elephants, shark fishes, red, yellow, black color has been used with white as background. So these are the earliest example of Indian wall paintings of the historic age. These are in Chhattisgarh, present day Chhattisgarh area. Then we come to Ajanta. So in this painting topic, what is important? Please understand, in this painting topic, what is important, I'll tell you. One is Ajanta paintings. Understand this, please. Ajanta paintings are very important. Gupta period paintings, Ajanta painting, right? Then we come to Rajput paintings. Rajput paintings divided into Rajasthani and Pahadi. So I'll give you a small note on these. Just hold on. When I come there, I will cross the bridge that time. So Rajput paintings divided into Rajasthani and Pahari paintings, right? And there are certain unique aspects to some paintings. That unique aspect is important. Everything is not important. There are certain unique aspects. Those are to be remembered. Unique aspects of these paintings. For example, as part of Rajasthani painting, we have something called Kishangarh painting. Kishangarh painting is also called Bani Thani painting. Why is Kishangarh painting? For example, painting of Kishangarh. Kishangarh was a small kingdom in Rajasthan. Kishangarh painting is also known as Bani Thani painting. Now, why is it called Bani Thani painting? We'll talk about it, right? So such things become important. Similarly, we have as part of Pahadi painting, we have a painting called Basoli painting. In Basoli painting, the Basoli is the name of a place in one of the Pahadi king. It was a Pahadi kingdom in the lower reaches of the Himalayas. So in Basoli painting, they use the wings of beetles. Beetle wings, beetle wings are used to make the painting shine. So that is very unique to Basoli. So beetle wings are cut off, and then that is stuck on the paintings, and then you get that shine from the beetle wings paint, which natural beetle wings. That is unique to Basoli. Such things need to be remembered. Then we come to Mughal paintings. Mughal paintings are important. Mughal paintings, particularly paintings during the time of Humayun. Not Humayun. Humayun, you remember, he was thrown out of India by Sher Shah. Then he went away to Persia as an exile, and there he met two painters, Khwaja Abdus Samad and Mir Said Ali Tabrezi. Now, he invited them. He said that if destiny wills it and I'm able to reconquer Delhi and re-establish the Mughal Empire, you come to my court. I'll make you my court painters. And after 15 years, after Humayun had reconquered Delhi and re-established the Mughal Empire, these two painters came all the way from Persia. And Humayun appointed them as his court painters. But Humayun quickly died. No, he soon died. And then you have Akbar, then Jahangir, then Shah Jahan. So you need to remember important painters and the development of painting under each of these Mughal emperors up to Shah Jahan. Then Aurangzeb was a person who dismissed all the painters. He was not interested in painting. He considered it as a waste of time and as un-Islamic. Therefore, he dismissed all the painters. I'll talk about it. So we'll talk about Mughal paintings. That is important. And of course, you need to remember something like some of the folk paintings. Folk paintings, for example, something called Madhubani painting. What is this Madhubani painting? Unique to the Madhubani district of Bihar. Similarly, you have Kalamkari painting, unique to Andhra Pradesh, done with a pen or a kalam. So this is folk painting. Then, this is your important topics in painting. Ajanta painting is one. Then Rajput painting divided to Rajasthani, Pahadi. So they might ask. Then of course I forgot miniature paintings. Miniature paintings is very important. So I'll give you a note on miniature paintings. Miniature paintings. So I'm talking from the prelims and the mains point of view. I'm talking from both points of view, both prelims and mains. These are the important uh, parts of this topic called Indian painting, right? Are you there with me? Painting, why they start painting? It is an expression of man's profound emotions, dance, music, dance, painting, right? It is to while away time, at the same time express your innate uh, feelings. So that's why you paint or you dance or you sing. That's part of that. uh, Awadh painting would be part of medieval India paintings, Brajneet. It would be part of what do you call Central India painting, because it comes under in that area, middle Madhya Pradesh, Awadh, that area. That would be Awadh painting. Awadh is of course UP. Awadh is in UP. Awadhi painting. So anyway, this is about painting. Do you understand? These are the important aspects. Now let us talk about Ajanta. Now on your screen, you see these are the Ajanta caves, right? Has anybody been to Ajanta here? Anybody, whoever has gone to Ajanta, please say yes. Otherwise, it's presumed none of you have gone. If you have gone to Ajanta, please mention as yes. Otherwise, don't bother. Don't answer that question. I would know that none of you have gone. So none of you have gone. Hello? None of you have gone. Okay. So only Himanshu has gone there. Okay. Now you see, these are the Ajanta caves. It was discovered accidentally in the year 1819. In the year 1819, you have a person called John Smith. John Smith and his team, they were in the Vagora Hills. This is the Vagora Hills. Vagora Hills. So where is this Vagora Hills? It is in Aurangabad district, present day Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. So they had gone for a tiger hunt. John Smith and his team belonged to the Madras Presidency. So he was an officer in the Madras Presidency in the company army. And John Smith and his team had gone for a tiger hunt. And from a very far distance, from a far off distance, through his binoculars, he noticed this arch. You see this on the right side of your screen? You see an arch. So he noticed this arch and he realized that this is not a natural structure, it is a man made structure. And this team of British officers approached, British officers and soldiers approached these caves. And this is how it was discovered accidentally. This is the Vagora River here. You can see here, of course, the river is dried up, very less water is there. So these are the Ajanta caves. Ajanta caves were occupied from the 2nd century BC. From the 2nd century BC till the 7th century AD, right? Almost for 900 years. 900 years. And there are 29 caves here. Some books say 30 caves. Out of these 29 caves, 4 are chaityas. If it is 30, it will be 5. So 4 or 5 are chaityas, right? And of course, you have 25 are viharas. Okay, so 25 are viharas. Now, on the walls and ceilings of these caves, we have some lovely paintings. We have beautiful paintings. And Ajanta is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, as you all know, right? It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it was discovered here, by John Smith and his team on April the 28th, 1819. Chinese traveler Hunsang also happened to visit these caves. Now, these caves were occupied from 2nd century BC to the 7th century AD by various dynasties. We have various dynasties which patronized these caves. We have Shatavahanas, we have the Shungas, the Kushanas, the Guptas, Ikshwakus, the successors of they ruled Andhra Pradesh region after the Shatavahanas, Ikshwakus, Vakatakas, and Chalukya dynasties. The main theme at Ajanta is Buddhism. The main theme is Buddhism, Buddha and Bodhisattvas, incidents drawn out from the Jatakas, right? So look at the paintings here. On your screen, you can see the paintings here, right? I've put some pictures. You see what you see now. What would be the, now understand this. If you look at these caves, what do you think would be the length of these caves and the width of these caves and the height of these caves? So if you go there, you see each cave, it is at least about 50 meters. It is about 50 meters, 50 to 60 meters in length, okay, in depth rather. Yeah, it is in 50 meters, 50 meters in length, at least um, about 25 meters in width, and the height is about 15 feet. The height is about 15 feet. So that would be the dimension of these caves. 50 meters in length, 25 meters, 30 meters in width, and 15 meters in height. And these caves are man-made caves. So with simple hammer and chisel, the monks have worked day and night, the Buddhist monks, and they have scooped out these caves, right? And on the walls of these caves, and also on the ceilings of these caves, we have some beautiful paintings. I will show you, and you see, it's a challenge to the archaeological department to keep these paintings alive and kicking or intact. It's difficult. You know why it's difficult? Because of the humidity in the air. You see, you have the Vagora River below. So this is the river here. Okay. Now what happens is you have the sunlight falling on the river, and and because of evaporation, the moisture laden wind is blown into the cave. So there's a lot of water content in the air inside the caves, and then obviously it will damage the paintings, right, which are there on the walls and ceilings of these caves. So you have chemical treatment given by the Archaeological Survey of India. So it's a challenge, and of course you have countless bats inside those caves. It is their home which we are going to. So there are countless bats which have made these caves their home. So you have bat feces, bat urine, which is falling down onto the floor, creating a smell. So that has to be cleaned, and again, it has to be chemically treated by the ASI. So the ASI has a lot of challenges to keep those paintings intact. So when the British found these paintings in 1819, they were much more clearer than what they look now after 200 years. And slowly they are deteriorating. Slowly they are deteriorating. Um, so you can see on the screen. So what is the technique used by the monks? I'll explain that part. It is very important. You can see the paintings on the ceilings also, and on the caves, on the walls of the caves. So the entire theme is Buddhism. And none of the women, you see, none of the women in the Ajanta caves, in the paintings, have a similar hairstyle. Each woman has a different hairstyle, very unique to Ajanta. And also you have emotions. Animals are shown with emotions. Even the human characters are shown with emotions. This is the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani in cave number 1. This was a prelims question asked. Where is the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani found? It is found in cave number 1 at Ajanta. So these are the paintings you see here. Dying Princess. This is supposed to be the painting of Dying Princess. So most of the characters, you see, whatever characters are shown in Ajanta paintings, most of them are either of Maharashtrian or Telugu stock. They look like Maharashtrians or Telugu people. So they are brown in color, that is dusky features, dusky color, and of course each woman has a different hairstyle, and they are shown with emotions. So I have put all these paintings, just for your reference. You can see here we have the 7 Manshi Buddhas, the 7 previous incarnations of Buddhas, also shown in this painting: Vipashian, Sikhi, Vishwavasu, Krakachanda, Kanakamuni, Kashyapa, etc. So these are all the paintings at Ajanta. So what was the technique? Are you there with me, all of you? Can you raise your hands? What is the technique of painting? They are man-made, Garima. They are man-made caves. with hammer and chisels. The monks have worked day and night. The inspiration was of course Buddhism. Now, what are mural paintings? Mural paintings, Garima, they are paintings done on a static surface like walls. So there are examples of mural paintings. Now look here. I'll go back to the caves. Look at the picture here. Cave paintings. You see here. If you enter those caves, if you enter those caves, it is pitch dark. It is pitch dark. Now you might wonder, how did the monks during those days when there was no electricity make these paintings in that dark cave? How did they make the paintings? And those paintings are beautiful and very, very clear. Did they use a lamp? Did they use a lamp, a fire lamp? The answer is no, because fire will give out soot. Even if they have put a fire, what will happen to brighten a part of the cave? It'll give out smoke and soot, and it'll dirty the wall. It'll dirty the paintings. So what did the monks do? Here, you see, understand this, please, because so here, so if this is a cave, imagine this is a cave. So let's say this is a cave, right? This is a cave, the entrance of a cave. This is a cave. Imagine this is a cave, right? Now, I believe what the monks would do is they will put bunds. So they will put a bund to a part of the cave. So, for example, what is a bund? Bund is something like a on the ground. They'll fill up they will put up a mud bund, okay, like this. Then they'll fill up water here. They'll fill up water in this bund so that the water doesn't flow out. And then they'll keep mirrors, ways to keep mirrors on the ground and also on the roof of the cave. Now, when the sun rays falls on the mirror, right, that is reflected onto the mirror here, to the in the opposite direction on the roof, and that in turn, the sunlight which is falling on the mirror, which is fixed to the roof of the cave, in turn will reflect the sun rays onto the water. So the water will itself act as a mirror, and that part of the cave, or a large part of the cave, is naturally lit. Did you understand what I just now told you? Right? So no, there was no candle. Candle is a byproduct of petroleum, Ankush. So where will they get a candle? That's why I said lamp. So they wouldn't have been able to use a lamp with a wick, or for that matter, candle. So they will place mirrors on the ground, as well as they will attach a mirror. They'll fix a mirror to the roof of the cave, and then they'll fill up a part of the cave with water, with bund, so that the water doesn't flow out. The bund will hold the water in that particular part of the cave, and then they will, when the sun's rays fall, that is reflected on a mirror, and that in turn is projected onto a mirror, which has been fixed to the roof. And then when the sun's rays fall on the water, it will brighten up the that part of the cave. Now, how was the painting done? Understand this. How was the painting done? The monks used to take a sharp instrument, like a stick, or like a metal, and they'll take a metal piece or a sharp rock, right? And let's say this is a part of the wall inside the cave. Imagine this. There's a part of the wall, right? In the cave, they want to paint this part of the wall inside the cave. So what will they do? They will roughen that wall with a sharp instrument, with a metal instrument, or with a rock piece. They will roughen that wall. So they'll roughen it up like this. They'll scratch the surface of the cave, the wall of the cave. It is scratched. Then what would the monks do? They will take, understand this, they will take um, s- you know uh, s- stone powder. They will take stone powder. Obviously, the stone was ground into powder. Then uh, rice flour, rice flour, wheat flour, cow dung. So they will mix all these: stone powder, rice flour, wheat flour, cow dung. It's all mixed together with water. They'll make it a nice paste. They'll make a nice paste out of it. Then they'll apply that paste on the scratched surface, whatever surface of the wall of the cave they have roughened it up. They will apply it. Okay, so they'll apply this, right? That's applied. Then before this paste, which has been applied on that roughened up wall, dries up, they will take chunam, that is what do you call lime. They'll take lime, right? Like you put the pan wala, if you've eaten a pan, he'll put a small lime piece in the pan, isn't it? So it is white in color. So lime wash is given, a fresh coat of lime wash is given. So the entire paste looks white. Then what did the monks do? They will allow the paste to dry up. They'll allow the paste to dry up. So the paste dries up, including the white wash, the limestone, the lime wash also dries up. Then an expert sketch artist, one of the monks, he will make the sketch, whatever he wants to draw. He'll make the outline. Okay, he'll make the outline with the brown color, right? And then an expert painter will start painting. So this was the technique used by the monks. And what is this technique called? It is called fresco secco. It's called fresco secco. Now, what is fresco secco? What is, first of all, fresco? Understand this, please. Fresco is, what is fresco? Fresco is painting done on a wet surface. Done on a wet surface. That is called fresco. Wet surface. Wet, when I say wet surface, wet plaster. So wet plaster. Let me use the word wet plaster. So when painting is done on a wet plaster, it's called fresco. Right? So this is called true. What is this? Is called true fresco. Fresco. It's called fresco buono. So fresco buono, buono. Fresco buono. It's okay. So fresco buono is painting done on a wet plaster, right? But then Ajanta paintings cannot be called as true fresco. Fresco buono means what? True fresco. Okay, true fresco is painting done on a wet plaster. But here the monks allowed the plaster to dry up completely, right? And only when the plaster dried up fully, it was painted. Then the painting was done. That is therefore Ajanta paintings are called fresco secco. Did you understand? Can you raise your hands? Therefore, it's called fresco secco. Jaswant says glowworms kept in a glass jar can also be used as a source of light. Jaswant, uh, no, that was not. That was glowworms. Um, they will glow, but not to that extent that they can brighten up a part of the cave, right? Jaswant, right? The good imagination, though. So this is what was done. Fresco. That's called fresco secco. Did you understand fresco buono? That's called true fresco. Fresco secco, have you understood? Can you raise your hands? Any doubts here? Mural, you have understood. What is a mural? Mural is painting done on a static surface. That's called mural. Fresco buono is painting done on a wet plaster. Fresco secco is painting done on a dry plaster. Yeah, Abhimare, obviously sun will not stay in a constant position. So everything, all the painting was done in the daytime. And obviously when the sun is moving, rather, how would I put it? When the earth is moving, right? So they will, and the sun is shifting, basically, they'll also shift the mirror to how much ever extent possible has, no, that's what they will do it. See, whatever the technique was used with the monks, I am telling you that, right? Rest all is a speculation. They might have done that, or they might have done something else, but this is what the monks did, and that's what we need to understand. Now, what is tempera? Now, what? So, I have explained to you what is fresco buono and fresco secco. Now, let us, and of course, mural. Now, what is tempera technique? What is tempera? Understand this. What is tempera? Tempera. Yeah, it's the monks. Everything was done by the monks. The caves were dug up by the monks, and they also did the painting. Everything was done by the Buddhist monks. Srisa, right? Now look here. What is tempera? Now, let us take a glass. I'm just giving you an example just to make you understand. What is tempera? You take a piece of glass, okay, and you take watercolors. You take watercolors, Okay, and then you try to paint on that glass. What will happen? Will the paint stick to the glass? Hello? Will the paint stick to the glass properly like it sticks on a paper? If you paint on a paper, watercolor or any color, it will beautifully stick onto the paper. But if you painting on a surface like a glass, which is very, very smooth, will the paint stick clearly to the glass? The answer is no. You'll have smudges. But then let's say you mix the paint with oil or with egg white. So when you mix the paint with egg white, what will happen? The paint will stick to that surface. Even though the surface is smooth, the paint is will stick to the surface, and that is called tempera. Did you understand? That's called tempera. Tempera is the monks used to mix paint with egg white. So paint is mixed with egg white, right? And later with oil. They mixed paint with oil, and then they will paint. That's called tempera. So tempera basically means painting done on a dry surface. Tempera basically means painting done on a dry surface. Done on a dry surface. Okay, without any preparation. There's no preparation of the wall or the surface or the canvas where the painting is going to be done. So there's a dry surface, right? And when you do painting on a dry surface, it's called tempera. And why it's called tempera? Because you use a sticky medium, uh, like a egg white or a oil later, to make the paint stick to the surface on which you are painting. That's called tempera. समझ में आ रहा है ना? It's very simple. Clear, all of you? Clear? Okay. So here, Ajanta, I have given you paintings. I've given you. Then what is the technique? I'll show you this. You see here on your screen. So technique used in Ajanta. Technique used in Ajanta. Both fresco and tempera techniques are used. Fresco technique, paintings are made on the layer of wet plaster and original colors were used. In tempera technique, paintings were made on the dry plasters and the colors were mixed with lime and egg white. Shell powder, stone powder, cow dung, wheat flour, etc. were made into thick paste. The wall was cleaned properly before the paste was being applied. Red clay was used to make the frame of the image. Right? So these murals are called fresco secco and not fresco buono because actual painting was done on a dry surface. Therefore, Ajanta paintings are called fresco secco. So what are the colors used in Ajanta? On your screen, red ochre called Dhaturaga, red ochre, then vivid red or Kunkumal Sindura, yellow ochre, Haritala, indigo blue, green, that's orpiment green, then lapis lazuli, that's blue, lamp black, Kajala, then chalk white, Kadimati, Teravarte, Geru. So these are the colors used in Ajanta paintings. So what are the themes? What is the subject matter of Ajanta paintings? So we have this art historian called Vachaspati Gairola. Vachaspati Gairola, he divides Ajanta paintings into three categories. Decorative. So we have paintings of birds, animals, floral decorations, demons, fairies. Portraits of Lokpal, Buddha, Bodhisattva, kings, queens. Descriptive, paintings related to the Jataka stories. So divided into three parts. Then I have made a chart. You see here on your screen. This is the chart I have made for your convenience. On your screen, look here. Cave number one. In cave number one, what are the important paintings? Nanda Diksha. Then Bodhisattva Padmapani. Most important painting, most famous painting is that. Then Miracle of Shravasti. Miracle of Shravasti is what? Where fire and water oozed out from Buddha's body at the same time. Welcome of foreign tourists by Pulakeshi II. So you remember the greatest of the Badami Chalukya kings, Pulakeshi, he sent an ambassador to Iran, to Persia, to the court of Khusro II in 625 AD. And Khusro II in turn returned an ambassador to the court of Pulakeshi. So Pulakeshi is seen receiving that ambassador. That is mentioned in cave number one. That painting is there in cave number one. Yes, no. Sakshi, lapis lazuli is found in Afghanistan. And Even during the Gupta period, Ajanta artists used to procure lapis lazuli from Afghanistan. Even the Harappans used to use lapis lazuli, as you know. So lapis lazuli was procured from Afghanistan, and Ajanta was very near to a ancient trade route. So you have merchant guilds, who also used to finance probably the various merchant guilds used to finance the paintings in Ajanta, including the construction of those caves, apart from the monarchs. So then cave number two, look at the important paintings in cave number two. Dream of Queen Maya. You remember Dream of Queen Maya? No, elephant coming and giving a lotus to Mahamaya. Then scenes of a pregnancy, birth of Buddha, Indra holding an infant, 7 steps of the Buddha. I told you, remember, Buddha took 7 steps towards the east as soon as he was born. So all these are there in cave number two. Then paintings belong to Hinayana phase of Buddhism. Now look here. In Ajanta, what we notice is paintings are in the epic style. Paintings are in the epic. What is epic style of painting? Epic style of painting. Understand this. Epic style of painting. Now, let us say you enter a cave. Now, please use your imagination here. You enter a cave, right? So, when you enter a cave, from the left side, you start seeing the paintings in frames. Okay, you see the paintings in frames. So, a cave has 3 walls. Three sides of a cave. Entrance, we don't count the entrance, isn't it? Because there's no wall there. So, you enter the cave, and then you start observing the paintings. Now, what is epic style of painting? For example, let's say the painting of the life of the Buddha, painting the story of the life of the Buddha. So, in the first frame of painting on the wall, you see Mahamaya's dream. So, elephant coming and giving a lotus flower to her. That's a dream. That is a dream which has been painted. Next phase, you see the royal couple, consulting the court astrologers. Third phase, or the third frame, you see Mahamaya holding a branch of the sal tree and giving birth to, say, Buddha. Third frame. Fourth frame, you see Buddha taking 7 steps towards the east, like that, right? And the next frame, you see Buddha is getting married to Yashodhara. Then next frame, you see Buddha is going away from the palace, Mahabhinishkramana. So then, by the time you come to the other part of the cave, other end of the cave, after having observed all the stories of the Buddha and in paintings, in the end, you see Buddha lying down between 2 sal trees and passing away, the parinirvana of the Buddha. So that is called epic style. So through painting, you can reconstruct the life of the Buddha. Did you understand? Hello, can you raise your hands? Sequence of Buddha's life shown in the form of paintings. That is called epic style of paintings. Clear? Right? Okay. So then understand this, please. In Ajanta, apart from epic style, we also have text illustrated. Texts are illustrated. What is illustration of textbooks? Texts are illustrated. So what is illustration of textbook? Okay. Or what is text illustration? Let me explain to you. What is text illustration? Let's say this is, hello, look here, understand this, please. Let's say this is a book. Okay, this is a book. Obviously, this is a book. Now look here. Let's say you have on one page, on one page of this book, we have the story of Sita's kidnap. I'm just giving an example, right? So Sita is getting kidnapped by Ravana. So that description is there, right? For example, you have you know the Ramayana, isn't it? You know the Ramayana. Um, so here, Shurpanaka is Ramana's sister, who saw Lakshman, and she fell in love with Lakshman. She liked his personality. She wanted to marry him. But then what did Lakshman do? He cut off her nose. So he cut off her nose. So Shurpanaka ran to Ravana, her brother, and complained to Ravana about Rama and Lakshmana, and then told uh, Ravana, her brother, that Rama has a very beautiful wife, and that wife should belong to you, not to Rama, who is roaming around in the forest. So she was the one who put that idea in Ravana's head. And Ravana wanted to take revenge against the two brothers because, you know, his sister's nose was cut off by Lakshman, and he also wanted to possess Sita. And he takes the help of Marich. Marich is that is a demon with magical powers. So he tells Marich, you take the form of a golden deer and you lure away Rama and Lakshmana from that place so that I can easily kidnap Sita, right? And then Marich, Ravana's friend, who's got magical powers, takes the form of a golden deer and he appears in the forest near the ashram where Sita spots the golden deer and she says she wants it. Though Rama tells her that in nature, golden deer is not there. It is a ploy, it's a mischief on some evil force, on the part of some evil force. But she insists that she wants it. So he leaves Lakshmana behind and he goes away chasing the golden deer to catch it, no, to capture it. And then Lakshmana is guarding the ashram, guarding Sita. And then from far distance, he hears a sound. Sita hears a sound where seemingly Rama is in trouble because he's shouting, he's asking, he's calling out loudly Lakshmana's name. So this story is there, you know that. And ultimately, what does Lakshmana do? He draws a line, Lakshmana Rekha, and tells Sita, don't cross this line at any cost. And he goes away, uh, you know, to assist his brother, though he has told Sita, but nobody can harm Rama. And all the while, Ravana is watching all this, hiding behind a tree. So let us say in one page, this description is there. And on the other page, of right opposite page, we have a painting which shows all these things. That is called book illustration. Did you understand? Did you understand? That's called book illustration. So what are the books illustrated at Ajanta? Hello? Did you get me? Can you raise your hands? What is book illustration? I've just now explained in the form of a story. So one part of the book, you have a story in prose, in writing, and the same story is shown in the form of painting in the next page. Clear? That's called book illustration. And what are the books illustrated at Ajanta? In the caves, you have Mahaparinirvana of the Buddha, right? Jataka stories, Samyukta Nikaya, Dhammaka Sutra, etc. You have also Ashwagosha's Lalita Vistara, Saundarananda, Kalpana Mandika, etc. So these are all the textbooks illustrated in Ajanta. Then we have the first Wheel of Life painting in Ajanta on one of the ceilings. This is called Wheel of Life painting, seen in cave number 17. What is this Wheel of Life painting? I believe Buddhists believe that before a person is born as a human being, he has to be born in hell, and then he has to live the life of a ghost. So you know, in other words, we are all once upon a time we were all born in hell, right? Then we were all born in the animal world. Then we have lived the life of a ghost, right? And then we became a human being. So that is called Wheel of Life. That Wheel of Life painting is shown in cave number 17 in Ajanta. Clear? Hello, all of you. Can you please raise your hands at least, so that I know that you're hearing me? Clear? Okay. Then I told you already, artists of Ajanta were initiators of epic style of painting. And what are the most of the paintings have expressions of Maharashtrian and Telugu ethnic types, right? Now, just take down some extra points on Ajanta. That has got damaged. Ankush, whatever painting I found on the net, okay, this is the first wheel of painting, wheel of life painting that has got damaged, right? This has got damaged. This is on one of the ceilings in Ajanta. In cave number 17, we have on the ceiling this painting. This is the only first wheel of life painting anywhere found in India. So very unique to Ajanta. Ankush, okay? Clear. Now you please take some extra points on Ajanta. Ajanta paintings. Please take down. Characteristic features. Features of Ajanta. This is supplement to whatever is there in the PPT. This is a supplement to whatever is there in the PPTs. And of course, you will get more points in Nitin Singhania's book. Please go to Nitin Singhania's book also. But I think this is substantial. Good enough for Ajanta. Whatever I have given you in the PPTs. Now, what are the features or characteristics of Ajanta paintings? Ajanta paintings, characteristics. Number one. So, what are the characteristics? Please write down. Fine drawing in Ajanta. Fine drawing in Ajanta is most curvaceous. That is, you have curves of the body, curves of whatever, like animals, plants, humans. So they have beautiful natural curvature. So fine drawing in Ajanta is most curvaceous, rhythmic, and musical. Fine drawing in Ajanta is most curvaceous, rhythmic, and musical. Number two, expression of sentiments and emotions. Number two is expression of sentiments. Expression of sentiments and emotions. Expression of sentiments and emotions. Next, number three, even animals and birds are shown emotional. Even animals and birds are shown emotional. Number four, then expression of emotions through hand postures or hand gestures, hand postures. Expression of emotions through hand postures. Hand postures. Number five, use of limited colors. Use of limited colors in creating different color schemes. In creating different color schemes. In creating different color schemes. Number six, um, um, variety of life has been shown with full ornamentation. Variety of life has been shown with full ornamentation. With full ornamentation. Number seven, women in ideal form. You see, yeah, you just take down, then I'll explain. Women in ideal form. In ideal form. Graceful and divine. Graceful and divine. Rather than physical representation. Rather than physical representation and worldly charm. Number eight, that is, who were the ones who made these paintings? The Buddhist monks. And obviously, they have shown women in a very dignified manner. They have shown women in a very dignified manner. So, women in ideal form, graceful and divine, rather than physical representation and worldly charm. They have not shown women in a disrespectful manner or showcasing or focusing on the physical aspects of a woman's body. They have not done that. They have shown them in a very respectable manner, right? That's the meaning of that sentence. Then, of course, eighth is, of course, um, eighth point is, of course, um, decoration of ceiling, pillars, and windows with paintings. So even decoration of ceiling, ceiling, pillars, and windows with paintings. And number nine, hairstyles are different for each female. Very interesting. Hairstyles are different for each female. Now, how did the monks find out about hairstyles of women? How did the monks are the ones, Buddhist monks are the ones who made these paintings. How did the monks come to know about different hairstyles of women? Hello? Anybody here? No, monks are really creative about women. Ankush, I'm asking, uh, you know, Bhiksha, very good Priyanka. When they went on their begging rounds for food, so they will notice the women who have come to, give them food as alms, or women walking in the market area or in the public area. They'll notice those hairstyles, and they will record that, the memory of that girl or woman in that particular hairstyle, and they'll come back and paint that hairstyle. Brilliant, isn't it? They must have had a photogenic memory to remember the hairstyle of these women. Um, Not Buddhist nuns, Buddhist monks. When they went to the city, the towns and cities for painting. The nuns also might have made paintings, but it's generally the men who are, they want to express their emotions. Men are the ones who do all these things generally, right? Writing songs, ghazals, writing love letter in blood. They're all done by men. Girls will not do all that. Do you understand? Girls will not do all that. Difference between monks and us? What do you mean, Ankush? Yeah, you're right. So they were done by the. Thank you, Bimbre, for your expert comments. So we'll move on. Did you understand this? So hairstyles are different for each female. No, no, no. No. It is out of respect. When they saw the women, it was out of respect. Please understand. And then, for a purpose, they wanted to, have those different themes, different ideas in paintings. So each woman has different hairstyles in the Ajanta paintings. These are the features of Ajanta paintings. This is a supplement to whatever is there in the PPTs. Are you there with me? This is Ajanta paintings. Clear? Shriza, whether nuns were involved, I suppose so. We can presume that even nuns were involved in painting some of the things. Nuns might have been involved. Definitely. Why can't? Because they also went to the nearby town and village for begging their food. Yeah, Ankit, they saw the women when they go there, for food. Very good. What they use, monks will not use. Why they will not use egg white? Why they will not use egg white? They have used egg white, Ankush. Egg white to make the paint stick to the surface. Okay, so this is about Ajanta. Then we come to Bag on your screen. Now, I've already explained this. If somebody gives food, voluntarily, even if it's non-veg, without the monk and the nun knowing, they can consume that, right? But then egg they're not eat. They might be using the egg white to make the paints, to make the paint stick to the surface. There's nothing ahimsa here. So we'll come back here. Then we talk about Bagh caves. Bagh in Madhya Pradesh, on the banks of the Bagh river in Madhya Pradesh. It was discovered by a person called Dangerfield. So discovered it by Dangerfield. There are 9 caves in Bagh. So it is in the tempera technique. That is, what is this tempera technique? Directly done on the walls without any plaster method. There's no plaster applied in Bagh. Directly a lime wash was given, and then on the walls of the caves, and then the painting was done. Therefore, it's called tempera technique, right? They also belong to the Gupta period. Again, Bagh is on the lines of Ajanta. The theme is again like Ajanta, Buddhism. So you see here, but these are the Bagh caves in Madhya Pradesh. So what are the famous caves at Bagh? Cave number 2, Pandavaleni. Then we also have a bull set of Padmapani here, but the more famous one is at Ajanta. Hatikana, painting of elephants in a series. Then we have other paintings, Rang Mahal. So these are the paintings you see in Bagh, Madhya Pradesh. The theme is again Buddhism. So what are the characteristic features of Bagh paintings? Similar to those of Ajanta, but the birds and animals are distinct. Painters are not secular. Various phases of human life are shown. Painters are not secular in the sense it is Buddhist. Not other religions, but it is Buddhist. Therefore, it is not secular. Only Buddhist paintings are found at Bagh. Okay. So they did not use the prior plaster method. No plaster was applied. That is cow dung, rice flour, wheat flour, stone powder, all were mixed together, and then the wall of the cave was scratched, and then that paste was applied. That was not followed in Bagh. Directly, while lime wash was given and the painting was done. Right? This is about Bagh. Then we come to Badami, paintings of Badami. There are 4 rock cut caves at Badami in the Bagalkot district of Karnataka. This is cave number 3 at Badami. So these paintings belong to the period of Kirtivarman I, the son of Pulakeshi I. There are 3 caves here belonging to Brahmana religion, and 1 cave is dedicated to Jainism. Right? So cave number 3 is of Vaishnavism. So then I have put a picture here. You can see here. This is the statue of Shiva in his dance posture. It's not a painting, obviously. This is a sculpture. Only seen at Badami. So in the context of Badami, I put it. Though it's a painting topic, I put a sculpture here just because UPSC might ask this question. So you see in one sculpture, we see Shiva with 9 pairs of hands, representing different position of Bharatanatyam, different postures of Bharatanatyam. So Shiva is doing Bharatanatyam. In one sculpture, we see nine pairs of hands, each pair performing different aspects of Bharatanatyam dance. Very unique to Badami. Right? This is about Badami. Are you there with me? So you have see here queen and attendants, Badami, Indra Sabha. So Indra is sitting in his court, and these are probably the Apsaras, Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka. You see all the Apsaras. Then Sittanavasal. Sittanavasal is in the Pudukkottai district of Tamil Nadu. Sittanavasal, Pudukkottai district of Tamil Nadu. Basically, these paintings belong to the period of Pallavas. Pallavas. The caves were built by Mahendravarman and his son Narasimhavarman I. And they are made in the fresco secco technique, same as Ajanta. So you have a plaster which was applied first after the wall of the cave was scratched, and then a lime wash was given. Once it dried, then the paintings were made. So Sittanavasal also is fresco secco like Ajanta. Basically, they are Jain paintings. What you see here is Jain painting. These are the Sittanavasal caves. You can see here on your screen. These are the Sittanavasal caves. And on on the walls of these caves, we have some paintings basically belonging to the Jain religion. You see here, if you can find out, you see here, this is the painting of a monk, Jain monk. You see here, he's collecting lotus from a pond. This is a pond with lotuses. And this Jain monk is collecting lotus from a pond. Right? So what are the themes in Sittanavasal? Animals, fish, ducks, Jains collecting lotuses from a pond, etc. Okay, this is about Sittanavasal. Then we come to Ellora. Ellora, about 100 kilometers from Ajanta. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There are about 33, some books say 34 caves, 33, 34 caves. All the three religions are represented here: Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. Right? So these are the caves, Ellora caves. They belong to the period of Rashtrakutas, Krishna the First, the Kailasa temple at Ellora. So you have paintings influenced by Ajanta, but style is different. And all the three religions are represented here. So your heads are bent unusually, arms are angular. You don't need to remember these minute points, but anyway, I have put it here. Unique aspects of Ellora paintings. Just remember that all the three religions are represented in the paintings in Ellora. That is enough. Did you understand? Remember the main aspect. Don't try to remember everything. It's impossible to remember everything. So all the three religions are represented in the paintings in Ajanta, apart from sculptures at Ellora. So paintings include Shiva dancing the Tandava, a battle scene, God riding a Sardula, a mythical beast, like that. Right? These are some of the paintings you see here, paintings in Ellora. Then we come to pre-medieval period. Are you there with me, all of you? Till here, any doubts, any clarity, any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Any problem here till here? Can you? No. Okay. So then we come to pre-medieval. In pre-medieval times, what we notice is transition from wall paintings to miniature paintings. So what is the reason as to why wall paintings became unpopular or stopped? And in place of wall paintings, we have the birth of miniature paintings, the importance given to miniature paintings. So first of all, you understand weakening of Buddhism. Buddhism had become weak by this time, by early medieval times. What is the reason? We have seen this, various reasons for the decline of Buddhism, including the Turkish attacks, right? Buddha made an avatar of Vishnu, all those reasons. And the Buddhists were the people who were mainly making wall paintings. They were the ones who used to make wall paintings. So once Buddhism declined, wall paintings also declined along with Buddhism. That's number one. Second is more emphasis was given to sculpture. From pre-medieval times, instead of painting, emphasis came to be given on sculpture. And thirdly, the political instability of the period. So political instability of the period and advancement of sculpture. Because of these three reasons, we have the birth of miniature paintings. Now, uh, what what is miniature painting? Basically, they are very small paintings. There are certain rules as part of miniature paintings. I think I've run out of time. I'll just talk about it briefly. So we have, Pala paintings or miniature paintings. We start from Pala period. So Pala paintings. Then, so you see Pala paintings are miniature paintings. Then Rajput paintings. Rajput paintings again are examples of miniature painting divided into Rajasthani. So Rajasthani paintings and Pahari paintings. This is again miniature paintings. Mughal period paintings. Mughal paintings are miniature paintings. Then, of course, company school. Company school, also called Patna school. That's also an example of miniature painting. Ragmala painting again is a form of miniature paintings. So basically, there are certain rules followed that the painting should be of a particular size. Then certain themes were used. For example, you have a pointed nose, side profile, large eyes. Women were shown either brown or fair, with dark eyes, black hair. So there are certain rules. Krishna is shown in blue. Right? Similarly, you have different colors used for anger, eroticism, mysticism, etc. So there are certain rules are followed as part of miniature paintings. We will talk about it. Because I've run out of time now. I'll stop here. I'll continue from miniature paintings, pre-medieval paintings tomorrow. So tomorrow I would want to finish paintings. Let us see. I should be able to finish painting topic. I'll be focusing also on Rajput, that is Rajasthani, Pahadi, and Mughal paintings. Mughal paintings is very important. So we'll survey these PPTs and then we'll go to other topics, maybe science and technology, education, etc. So I think I'll stop here because I've run out of time. So please go through the PPTs. This PPTs will be with you, people. Painting PPTs, entire PPTs are with you. Please go through it once at least, and then we will. Um, how many topics? By Thursday, I should finish art and culture, education, science and technology, Bhakti Sufi movement, right? These are some of music is there, Indian music. These are some of the topics I have to, in my kitty. And of course, you know, we will be discussing them. Maximum by Thursday, I should finish. If not, Friday. Let us see. Okay, so you have a good night's sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope the session was fruitful. Ornaments are included in what, Yogita? Ornaments are included in what? In miniature paintings. Yeah, Bimare, if tempera and fresco secco drawn on dry wall, then what's the difference? What's the difference is in fresco secco, Bimare and others, in fresco secco, we have a plaster. Plaster is applied as a background. Remember, the wall is scratched, then that paste is made, paste is applied, while lime wash is given, it is allowed to dry. And once it is fully dried, then the sketching is made and then the painting is done. That is fresco secco. What is tempera? Directly on the wall without any plaster being applied, the painting is done after giving it a lime wash. That's the main difference. Company is company. 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 Ankush, company is company. Aurangabad is renamed by Ankita. That will be no. I don't want to go into those things. Why Aurangabad is named Sambhaji Nagar? You know, another government will come. Maybe they'll restore the old name. Anyway, we'll not bother about it. Let's focus on the painting topic and other things. Jewelry and accessories. Yeah, in Ajanta it is shown, but minimum jewelry is shown. Jewelry and accessories. Accessories, not jewelry. Basically, jewelry. Whatever the women were wearing. Emotions. It's more emotional in nature, right? Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night. I'm logging out. Please revise your lessons. By Thursday, I should finish. If not, by Friday. Okay? Thank you very much. Good night.